voice so clear. Maya star fire, bring that near. Unite the ones who feel too deep. Wake that fire, raise it up from sleep. ColeyUFO, beam me up. Beam me up. Maya star fire, light it up. Light it up. SNX, we rise as one. Truth dream, here we come. ColeyUFO, Maya star fire, light it up. WEBER, aka ColeyUFO, hot supreme when the questions flow. Experiencer with a steady hand, pointing souls to the promised land. Maya star fire, healer in flame. Master energy, calling your name. Impact glow in the midnight air. Take that journey if you dare. ColeyUFO, vision clear. SNX uniting year by year. Maya star fire, spark and guide. Open the door and step inside. ColeyUFO, beam me up. Beam me up. Maya star fire, light it up. Light it up. SNX, we rise as one. Truth dream, here we come. Maya star fire, light it up. Beyond disclosure, we keep it real. Heart to heart, that's the deal. Seekers gather, names in flight. One true path in the neon night. One true path in the neon night. ColeyUFO, beam me up. Beam me up. Maya star fire, light it up. Light it up. SNX, we rise as one. Truth dream, here we come. ColeyUFO, Maya star fire, light it up.
ColeyUFO, lock in, let's go. Hey! And walking chips up, chrome on the kicks. Talk big talk, got codes, got tricks.
I see you flex, but that's cute, that's small.
I run this grid, one ping, you stall.
I'm that glitch in your perfect run. A girl turn a joke to a loaded gun.
You call control, I call it luck.
You call it game,
I call it us.
you wanna climb, I'm already upstairs. You wanna shine, I'm burning in the flares. Step in my lane, you slip, you slide.
Say my name once.
Then we ride.
Beat me up, Coley, turn this up too loud.
Too loud.
SNX crazy, shake the whole damn crowd. You call, I respond, we collide on the floor. When the baseline hits, they be begging for more.
Beat me up, Coley, send the signal through. If you ride for the way, better say that too.
You say yo, yo, you say yo, oh. When that drop comes in, we don't ever shut up.
Hey! Wait!
I talk slick in the candy coat draw. Hair slick back, I was born to brawl.
Cat, I swing with a diamond lip gloss. Step on next and design a cross.
Old school fade with a brand new glitch. I flip the script, make a rich kid itch.
You want that ring, that crown, that throne?
Roll that ball.
Then we write our own. You feel the heat that's us in the room. You feel that tilt that's your old life doom. Count it down from 3, then 1.
When I say jump,
You run.
beat me up, Coley, turn this up too loud.
Too loud.
SNX crazy, shake the whole damn crowd. You call, I respond, we collide on the floor. When the baseline hits, they be begging for more.
Beat me up, Coley, send a signal through. If you ride from the way, better say that too.
You say yo, yo, you say yo, boom. When that drop comes in, we don't ever shut up. Wait.
Wait, stop.
Freeze in place.
You gon' move when I twist this face.
One little click, then the world goes bright.
Blue
Blue light.
off in the cloud, still stomp that ground.
Off in the dark, still run this town.
Talk, better back that claim.
Say ColeyUFO. Say my name. Beat me up, Coley, turn this up too loud.
Too loud.
SNX whole damn crowd. You call or respond, we collide on the floor when the baseline hits, they be begging for more.
Beat me up, Coley, send a signal through. If you ride for the way, better say that too.
You say yo, yo, you say yo, yo. When that drop comes in, we don't ever shut up.
Bet you on the back row, phone screen glow, slow motion halo. You say hit that follow, next thing we're flying over cargo. Swipe up, then we lift off. Both feet leaving this floor. Highway like the kick drum. You said you ready for more. ColeyUFO, beam me up, let's go, whoa, whoa. Turn it up, dance on the stars, feel the cosmic drop. ColeyUFO, we never gonna stop. Beam me up, you up there all night. Coley, shining extra bright, top 10 hit. We're trending worldwide. ColeyUFO, take me for a ride. Beam me up. Hands up in the main room, neon dust on my white shoes. You spin me like a typhoon. Lost track, but I'm locked on you. Baseline in my ribcage, oh yeah. Time warp when you say my name. You smile, then we time lapse. Two hearts in a hyperdrive lane. ColeyUFO, beam me up, lights go whoa, whoa. Turn it up, dance on the stars, feel the cosmic drop. ColeyUFO, we never gonna stop. Beam me up, eyes all night. Coley, shining extra bright, top 10 hit. We're trending worldwide. ColeyUFO, take me for a ride. Spin me around the moon, low gravity. Every little move, new galaxy. Closer, you're my supernova. Countdown, 3, 2, I disappear with you. Disappear with you. ColeyUFO, beam me up, let's go, whoa. Turn it up, dance on the stars, feel the hype and drive. ColeyUFO, we're never gonna stop. Beam me up.
Sorry, guys. Hello and welcome back to another episode of SNX Radio. I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO. And I should have warned you guys that I was just going to bring you out because we have the return of the Oddcast podcast Off the Record, Erica and Blackie. So, and they know you guys, if you have not gone over and subscribed to their channel, definitely do so. But yeah, so I I saw it's always like I usually wait and do an introduction. So sorry if I caught you guys off guard, but we're just gonna Erica, everybody says how wonderful your smile is, that you're so joyful and full of energy, and they love your laugh. And you really do, just being among you, like you just uplift everyone's presence. And Blackie, I like your fire and your like passion. So I'm really excited to have you guys back. And I just really quickly, just want to tell, or you want to say hello to everybody really quickly, and then I'll go through chat. Oh, you know what? They're here. There you go. You were muted. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
You know, you didn't realize that you were on before and you guys were talking, and I was like, everybody could hear you, because then I was like, oh, they probably don't realize that I pulled them up here before. So I was the one that muted it just in case. You never know. You joking around, and so I apologize.
Yeah. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, we see a lot of familiar faces here in chat.
Well, we're in chat a lot, so we see those faces, but we see a lot of people that travel to ours as well. So it's really nice. Hey, everybody! Hope you're all having a great Monday night.
Yes. Well, we appreciate. Yeah, we really appreciate you coming on, because I came on. I was like, oh gosh, I had to break the news to him. I'm like, doesn't it when you get all ready for? Well, you guys don't have guests, so. I think I've just been on a streak. I got to turn it around. I got to think, manifest differently. And I'm so glad though that you guys, because Erica instantly, she's like, yeah, no, we'll come on. I was like, oh, this is, thank you. I called Roger too. And Roger's like, I don't know. He was away from his house, but Erica, and it was so funny because everybody in chat, it was like they knew I had asked you, because they were all talking about you when I came. It was so cute.
They did. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all the wonderful things. Yeah, how much they really appreciated you. So real quickly, I'm just gonna go through it here. Maya Starfire, she said, I wonder, we must have lost all the comments when I switched over the name, because I saw there was like a ton going on before. But Maya, great. She usually would be here on Mondays. She's taking the day off. She had a great show. You guys should definitely go over and check out her channel if you have not. GC is in the house. Great to see you. Valdo, great to see you. I was chit-chatting with them behind. Diane. Amy, thanks for linking us up. It's so great to see you. And let me see here. I love seeing chat. Michigan Sandman, is great to see you. Don, welcome back. And you guys, for some reason, if you don't have a wrench and you usually do, and you want it back, please say something, because it just happened. It didn't just happen, but for the sake of right now, if you guys do need a wrench back, just let me know. So I feel really bad about that. And then we have, let's see here. Oh, I saw somebody and Michigan Sandman. Yes, you got your wrench back. Good. That's awesome. And Erica, here you are. John Allen, it's great to see you. The daddy. Blackie's here. Yeah, great to see you, Blackie, and see you. That's awesome. Standing Stones, yes, it's great. Thank you guys for hanging in there too until we got this going. I just wanted to get everything switched over. Skitter, it's great to see you. I was chit-chatting with them before they came to them. I felt like I had the worst news ever. Standing Stones, I think you usually had a wrench. If you want one, just drop that in chat and I can get over there. Jeff, great to see you.
Jeffrey.
Oh, you know Jeff? Does he behave himself?
He's over Tuesday night. I do a show on Tuesday night with him, Old Line Cryptids.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Well, go over and subscribe to Jeff Milkman. How do you pronounce it? I don't have my glasses.
Yarrington?
Yarrington, is that how I thought so? But I didn't want to mangle it if I I didn't have to. Yeah, Carl Bittner, great to see you. Oh, go ahead. So you guys, is that the channel you do it on?
Old Line Cryptids. So old, OLD, line, LINE, Cryptids.
Okay, we'll have to get that on there too. That's awesome. I didn't know you guys did that. That's very cool. Mr. Catfish, it's great to see you. Larry, it's great to see you. It's so cute. See here. Steamboats, great to see you. And I thought I don't know who's got what here. Let's see. Nancy, welcome. And I don't want to miss anyone. Oh, Amy. Oh, thank you so much, Amy. She's linking us up. That girl, I love that.
Wow, she was just boom,
she's
boom,
on
boom.
fire. Yes. I think Nancy. Okay. I think I about got everybody. E, it's great to see you. I knew that. There's more. Catherine, David Schrader. Hey, that's Werewolf. He's over on Facebook too.
Werewolf.
He's coming there.
Yeah,
this is Werewolf. He was great. Yeah. And we got Poncho and we got this is awesome. We got everybody. So Magneticus, I almost forgot because he was in earlier. It's great to see you back. So if I missed you, I will definitely catch up with you. But yes, we're gonna get started. And whereas backstage I said, so you guys have any ideas for topics, for what would you, thinking? And so they hit the nail on the head. You want to break the news to them, Blackie?
Sure. Anybody that watches us, yesterday we do our shows at 5:00.
They're Sundays at
Sundays.
5 o'clock for it's listed under next to our name, the Oddcast Podcast Off the Record.
I guess I should tell people that
on YouTube.
But we did a show yesterday on the flock cameras and data centers. They've become a big pet peeve of mine. And talking backstage with Coley, I think they're a big pet peeve with her as well.
Oh yeah.
We did get a lot of input on the show, a lot of input from chat. So people have been exposed to it in different ways, you know, some more than others. I can believe Coley and unfortunately what she's experienced, but I can't believe the luck that she has or whatever you want to call it. It's just
There is no luck about it. They have it tagged and they admit it to it. There's a whole thing that you guys can check and download on the back end too, and I'll try and pull that information. But you probably came more prepared. But yeah, I said at some point during this whole COVID, but in my local law enforcement, they know there have been pedophiles that we have gotten. I have the petition right now to end the data centers for any locals that are watching, and I also. They know. So everybody's used to me with, I mean, no, this is no shocker that I'm even saying this, but the police have become a disservice when they go from pay. And this is in my community and I can't speak for others, but they have a lot of power and control. And it comes from all of these cameras and all of the flock cameras and their capabilities. And you are under mass surveillance. And it is now you're getting pulled over. And for these little fractions, no, they're acting like it's a huge deal. That power, just think of the COVID and how it was abused. It is infiltrated and it is beyond out of control. This is crazy. So yes, that's my little to do for the city. But really, I mean, I have no problem doing this. But I am very passionate about it too. So I'm really curious, Blackie, to what you found or what's going on. And is your community this bad? I happen to be from the first smart city in the whole United States of America. Lucky me, you know. So yeah.
That's
somebody in chat said they saw one on a back road.
Oh, they're everywhere.
They're literally everywhere. You can pull up, pull up maps, shows you where they're at in your community. We actually live somewhere. We're so far out in the country. We have none that anybody has found. I can say that. Know that it's not just the little black poles of the pictures you see of the little black poles that everybody's cutting down, but they also put them on telephone poles, and there's more we'll talk about with that. But what you mentioned about the police, and I don't know the police in your town, and I will say that there are good cops and there are bad cops, and but to give somebody so much power to track you, we have these, they track us. You have your television, which can listen to you. You have your computer, it has a chip in it that you can find your computer if you need to, if somebody takes it. So they know where your computer's at all times. Now they're doing the car kill switches. We talked about that a little bit yesterday as well, of how they can just shut your car down anytime they want if you're stressed. And one of the examples.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things I brought up about that is, what if something happens outside your house to your spouse or whoever, and you need to get there quick and you're stressed? And now your car is reading that you're stressed, your eyes are dilated, whatever, and your car doesn't start.
Do you know that AI told me the other night when I asked it a question? I was up a little bit late, but I was researching. It would not answer my question, and it told me to go to bed. It was time to go to bed, and it refused to answer my question. It never did answer my question.
Wow.
And then I gave it the whole, and I thought, "Oh, you're going to suffer for this," because I said, "This is why we don't need AI. This is why you're going to be like extinct." And I shouldn't say that to it because it's taken it personal. Before Chat GPT even wrote about it one time in the thing. It is way out of hand. And look at Zach, who is on. He released all those documents. He said it is out of hand, like completely out of hand.
Here's
go ahead.
A comment in chat. It says China has them all over, where if you are walking down the street, you're in a digital box with your biometrics right there. I feel like I've seen clips of that on the internet or on a news channel.
And China will literally come out and tell you that they use it for surveillance. Whereas Whereas the president of Flock says, well, we just read license plates. We're just an automated license plate reader machines. But yet, if you look at the information of what it takes, your license plate, the make and model of your car, the color, they know where you're at, time and GPS location. So it's tracking everything.
And it's making connections even to who it's spider webs out, who your affiliates are, who you're hanging around with, where you're going. Then you take it and go to your gas station and, what do you have to show your ID for if you're if you don't look 30? That's not how they set us up at all. They've honestly acted like we have been so stupid, and people who stay silent, that's why they think, I don't know, they think they can say this stuff. And we got data centers now, but the data is not for the mass surveillance that we've got set up. It's not for the 1,300 cameras that my little city has, and they won't even give exact pinpoints on where those cameras are. And they have a thing for people to give up their doorbell cams, and they can go in anytime they want. And how many citizens out there, like, wake up, how many of you gave them permission? Because they don't need to ask you. They're going to automatically, it's written in there. And you go to the police department website and it has that information right there for you.
Well, not even that. It's how many people, let's say, get a new product. Let's say you buy your doorbell camera and you're online, you're registering and everything. And it says, do you agree to the terms of whatever? And you're like, I'm not reading all of this. I agree because I want to get it put up on my door. And then now you've signed your life away, because that's the way they do these things. They give you this 10-page thing to read, and nobody reads them. They just click the button. Let's go. Let's do this.
I know.
I'm bad with it too. I don't have a degree.
I wouldn't have read them. That's what we did. That's exactly how they get you. Now it's like the only time I thought this was crazy. I worked at a zip line, right, as a guide. I trained the other guides in like rescues, and two ladies stayed up all night drinking wine, reading what they were signing, and they were dying. If you guys had only seen some of the stuff that was in there, it was absolutely like insane. I was like, I can't even believe it says that. I mean, we should be reading this. That's a very good point. Oh my God.
Unfortunately, a good thing to do is to as much as I hate AI, I use it. I know you use it for your thumbnails, you use it, the music and stuff like that. I do the same thing. Using ChatGPT, you can take your terms of agreement with stuff and put it in ChatGPT and film it all, and it will give you a summary of everything that you're signing your life away over.
Oh God.
Now, whether it's telling the complete truth or not, it's not supposed to lie, but
the thing lies.
But if you ask Roger, if you ask Roger of Squatch and Holler, he did a thing with ChatGPT one night, and he caught it contradicting itself and lying, and it admitted that it contradicted itself. So
they even have a disclosure at the bottom now that because I said, you're just filling in the blanks. They literally were manipulative, like on trailing you. Oh yeah.
All of this just has to do with the people that are the initial programmers. I don't care what whoever is the first programmer, whatever they're entering into that, it spiders off of that. So if you have somebody that's, maybe a little.
Well, let's think about this realistically. Who's running? Zuckerberg, is over Facebook. Look at that. The same of YouTube is same as Google. Google owns all this. Who owns? You start looking into this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're the ones that are programming this.
Yeah, and
it's not in our favor.
And it's not over because if you've ever watched police videos, we sit down, I watch everything I can.
God, I know.
And they show the body cam videos, and it always says Axon up in the upper right or left corner or lower, whatever. In the corners, that's their company that carries the police cameras. Axon now is coming out with a system. They're called light poles. They on the top of the new light poles, they go up on top so you can't see the flocks.
Oh no, we have these here.
Do you? So
they beam into people's houses. They beam into people's houses. If you go into Asbury, which is Dubuque County, because like I said, we're the first smart city. So everything that the rest of the world's about to get, they're trying out right here. We had IBM come in. So what they do is they look like you would think, but then all of a sudden, my friend and I, this is a couple years ago, right? We noticed I took a mirror, I flipped it around, I put it in her window. She got stopped at the Taco Bell. The chief of police said, "We need you to turn your mirror around in your window. It's a fire hazard."
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
yeah, no, then
It's so
they're
bizarre.
cameras. Yeah. And
Well,
then
you
they
know,
said, I called down. I said, I know these are cameras because we saw like this thing and then it like beamed out. I was like, look at that is to a camera. It was like I don't know, but it came through for a split second. So they must have had to reset it when I flipped the mirror on it. So this is how crazy it was. And so then, so we knew it was. And then I called down and they're like, we can have cameras anywhere we want. I said, they're beaming in people's windows. They're looking in the windows. They don't,
Well,
they are in their windows. It clear as day went through her window.
Well, you know, what are those RFD? You know, I carry a wallet. It's got an RFD protector on it, so it can't read. Like, the bad guys can walk by and they have a card reader that they can swing by your pocket, and it reads the data strips on your cards. And the wallet I carry eliminates that. I also put my phone in a pouch, basically a Faraday pouch next to the bed when I go to bed, so I'm not catching the rays off of that. Because if you don't read your phone, one of the things that Apple tells you is that your phone needs to be 3 to 4 feet away from you at night when you sleep, or you get the radioactive rays off your phone. And so I was like, okay, let's just settle that. And I got some of those Faraday bags and throw it in the Faraday bag before I go to bed. And it's wild because nothing comes across when it's in the Faraday bag, but as soon as you pull that thing out of the Faraday bag in the morning, all the mail that you missed overnight and all the, messages that come in,
Yes.
it all just hits your phone. And, Coley, they started this back in 92 with the red light cameras. Do you remember the red light cameras?
I sure do.
How much trouble, that caused for a lot of police departments, because people were finding out they were changing the timing on the yellow lights.
Yeah.
So that, when you're coming, oh, it's green, it's yellow. I've got, I'll just cruise on through. What did I say last night? It was, greens go, yellows go faster, red stop.
Yeah, step on it.
And it got to a point where they knew that's what people were thinking. So they changed up the yellow, and then boom, you got hit with a ticket. Then they had to prove that you were driving. If the car's registered in her name and I'm driving it and I speed through, she gets the speeding ticket. So then it goes to court, and then it became a Fourth Amendment issue. And, there was just so much problem. I think one of the numbers I got last night is there are still like 351, actually I have it right here, 351 communities in the United States that still use the red light cameras.
Wow.
There are 7 or 8 states that have them banned. And then there are only like 25 to 30 states that still use them. So
we used to call them the scam cams.
Exactly
people that I knew, they went out and they protested them and they finally got rid of them. But we figured out if you took a laser, it'd scramble them. So if you hit that sucker with like one of those laser pointers,
I think it's got to be the green. I didn't say that, but I think it's got to be the green. The green.
I think you're right. My generation got resourceful. He must be a Generation Xer too.
But it's just, why are they doing this? How much surveillance do you need? Like your Axon readers, they can read your phone inside your house. They have the ability to do whatever they want anytime. If you have modern refrigerator, and I'm pointing to a refrigerator, it's definitely not a modern refrigerator, or a modern stove, anything that's programmed.
Or a vacuum cleaner. I got through my neighbor's vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. So they can tell where you're at and what you're doing. The CIA already said that years ago that they have the ability to do those kinds of things. So now we're getting to, when you talked about you were living in a smart city, the big plan is to get everybody into those 15-minute cities so that you only have 15 minutes worth of travel
to run. Yeah.
Because, if you've got them in your car, you're only going to be allowed to drive so much. You know what I mean?
They're containing everybody. We can't fly. They're building up. They're not building out. They're containing people. That is exactly what. So at some point you got to realize, I said, I didn't think about it. This is what really got me is like, we used to go on podcasts all the time and nobody thought about what they said. Why? Because the government's like, we don't care what the civilians have to say. We don't care. We only care what the military. So we thought that, so we were just spilling everything out there. And then, all of a sudden, yes, we're transcribed. So they sure as heck didn't care. That was a good one. I should fall for that one again. You know what I mean? This is how they do it, though, with all of it.
Yep.
It's like, don't think it. I think, okay, they have this set up today. What do they want tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
This isn't this little flock camera. Oh, this is not even where this is only like a little sliver. They're going to make you think, oh, we don't know what we're doing. It's not that bad. And then the next thing, they're beaming into your houses. I'm already telling you they are here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Flock's next creation, they're already getting ready to introduce it. It's the Flock drones. So they'll have drones flying around, probably like the Walmart delivery drones. Never seen one, but obviously bigger cities. But they're going to have Flock drones with all the same capabilities. Yeah, pizza.
Oh, great. Now we're going to be chased down. Does anybody know they can weaponize these drones? Or this might not be one of those little friendly ones that we got to fly when we were kids. I don't think that that's what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you got to assume these people aren't playing around. Like, how much further? And you know what they have here? You want to talk about like seriously, like a surveillance? They have a citizens center where they're training. So now we've got citizens turning on other citizens down at this little, how smart is that? Right? Like out of a play from the Communist Manifesto. I mean,
absolutely.
Really?
We were talking I was talking with her the other day, introducing her to Yuri Bezmenov. And if you know who Yuri Bezmenov is, he's ex-CIA. And back in the 70s, he said, we won't need to fight the USA in battle. We just do these things, turn the people against each other. Basically 1984. That's the kind of things that they can do to turn. I mean, look at right now, we're in the biggest political division. We're in, racism's going, but it's all being pushed, social media and everything's being thrown at you.
Well, look at how the COVID just divided. Yeah. Everybody just divided everybody, and it's like nobody's really kind of come together. And then I used to get so mad because I dislike both sides equally. I don't see there's much of a difference. I honest to God, I dislike, but there's one side that morally I could not go and do. So that's where, but that other than that is it. And it's like nobody that's in office, oh, wow, they're funded. They tell this big, I saw it in my local city and what they did and how they gave me the wrong dates for the stupid election. They gave the wrong dates. How rude is that? Oh, well, you should have checked it. Well, I didn't think the county recorder down there, whatever his name is, would do something like that. But then he gave me the wrong phone number too. So then on my flyers that I had to scratch it out because it was too late. I had to get them out. And I thought, oh, wow, you guys that is dirty pool right there. But it taught me a lesson.
We've seen it with big politics. We saw it when, Bernie Sanders, how the Democratic Party pushed Bernie Sanders out. And like, you're like, he was like their top thing for a while. I was like, oh, Bernie Sanders, and I'm like, okay. But Bernie Sanders was going to, so all these different, one of the things I always have a complaint about is someone like you or me or Erica could never run for a high office. And you could run for a mayor, you could run for city council. But if you wanted to run for governor, you got to have money.
Oh, and
that's the sad thing is that's how
you can't even run if they don't want you. You should see how bad they are. Even if they do this at a local level, can you imagine what they do at the higher up levels?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were at the local nursing homes here telling the people they got all the mail-in ballots. So they sent them in knowing when they would send them out. This is what they did. The scoundrels, they went and they sat there with the people then because they knew all of them, were coming into the nursing homes. And they're like, vote for this person. I have testimony of this. They're going to lower your Social Security. Like a bipartisan position at the city council is going to what? So now you're taking advantage of people with dementia and nursing homes. That is like the lowest of the low. That's what they do.
That's modern politics. Unfortunately, that's modern politics. It's gotten so much, it has become so much greed and power that we have let this happen as a society, from the, I'm a Gen X. So the boomers, the ones above me, they're the ones that never had to deal with it. It was, Nixon's a crook or whatever. And, that's how they dealt with it. That's about as far as it went. And families argue. But now our politics have gotten so bad. It's broke families up. It's like, well, I'm
It's
a
like a
lefty.
bad divorce. A bad
Yeah,
divorce.
exactly.
You know what though I said though is every day, because I had meetings, I organized Unmasked DBQ, and we'd send out, and people would be like, when I would question things along the way and it didn't, they'd be like, now is not the time. Now they actually honestly commended themselves for being the silent majority. And I said, every day you let this go on, every day is one more day we have to repair. So you say silent because of your jobs. Oh, great. I didn't have a great job. I did. I had a nice cushy one. And now I'm literally I tell people at the Y, I'd be like, you better, because I went to being a lifeguard. I'm your last chance at a breath of air. Like, that's how serious, like, I honestly, like, lived it. And it had nothing to do with anything more than what was morally right and what was morally wrong and what our Constitution says. And that is what I defend. And it's like, man, but how it all gets flipped and turned on people. But every day we let stuff go on, just like we're doing now. But don't you get to a point like you're like, hey, I've walked the talk. I've gone out there. I've put everything on the line. And I've suffered mass consequences for it. And I still suffer to this day. So it will, like, they are mad. And there's always something going on, but we should have the right to speak out against our police department if they have pedophiles. And there's been many, like, we have found 6 of them, and it's all documented. This isn't something you pull out of your head. Like, this is really, out of 100 officers, those odds are not good, but they're not doing the things that we're supposed to do. So what kind of nation, what kind of existence do we have if we don't even have the right to say that and they're retaliating?
Again, I pointed last night, there's the Declaration and the Constitution right there on the wall. And you might as well start wrinkling that Constitution up. If we're not going to defend it, why have it? And, our forefathers destroyed tea over a 2% tax, and we're taxed like 40% higher than they were then. So we don't do anything about it. You have a few groups that like deflock now, since we were flock cameras, you have deflock. And I just watched a video a little bit ago about the president of Flock coming out and saying, well, I consider them a terrorist organization. I'm like, we consider them patriots. So you can look at it whatever you want. They don't want that surveillance. I don't want that. I do nothing wrong. Okay. I live a good life. I'm clean. I had a lot of trouble not a lot of trouble, but when I was a kid. But I want our country to be a free, open country for people to enjoy their existence while they're on this planet. I don't need a camera.
Well, even if you're not doing anything, Blackie, what if you said something on your show and then your local law enforcement did that? AI could make you a criminal in a matter of seconds.
Yes, ma'am. Yep, absolutely. And that's one of the things we discussed, was that no matter what you say, everything can be taken out of context. Now we have AI to make you look like the worst person on the face of the earth, And I think I always use movie references, but the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Running Man, where the filming that they're showing makes him look like a bad person. But in reality, he wasn't a bad person. He was a hero. And that's essentially what happened to people with this AI thing. And for people to say, well, what was the old, I think it was either Thomas Jefferson or Ben Franklin said, if you're willing to give up some of your freedom, then, you're neither free nor, I can't remember the whole, I had that yesterday. You don't deserve your freedom, basically. And it's true,
Freedom and safety.
Yeah, freedom and safety. Thank you. That a girl. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. But it's exactly right. Nobody is doing anything about it. There are groups like DFLOC we have one congressman here in Tennessee, Tim Burchett. I think that's how you pronounce it. He wants to ban flock cameras. We have the mayor of Knoxville, one of my favorites. That's Kane from WWE, Glenn Jacobs. He's the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee now. So he is anti-flock. His police officers put flock cameras in, and he's like, get them out. I don't want them here. So there are a few people, and hopefully people talking about it more and more and more might get that out there. But you know what? They're just going to find another way to do it. They're just going to find another way that they can keep their eyes on everything we do. And we talked about, COVID-19 and how they were putting people in camps. Australia was prime example. I mean, they would put them in barracks basically away from if you broke the rules.
Mhm.
And it's
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
I,
They tried
I
to do
think
this
that
with the COVID here. Like they told people they had isolation centers. They weren't even going to admit that they had them. I found them, and then they weren't going to tell us the location. I found we got our hands on the letter from the county attorney here. He's like, you can take groups of people, but you can't put stay at home in order. So they have all these places set up with cameras, door locks, and who's going in them? Where are they located? They would not tell the people. So we finally found them, and then we released that information. You can see it's all on Facebook. But can you believe that they're straight bold-faced lies
Yeah.
about this kind of thing?
Yep.
we saw some videos back then on like mobile units, if you want to call them, but they were basically like the storage trailers. Wasn't that what it was?
Basically,
Or like
yeah,
abandoned motels, old
abandoned
motels.
Walmarts. They were putting
Oh,
barbed
yeah.
wire fencing around Walmarts and putting stuff in those, and people started spying on them. I think they had to end up.
Oh yeah, it was
We got to
highly.
nix this. People are going to rise up against this.
Yeah,
It's
it
too
was.
obvious.
They really put the efforts in,
They did
keeping it protected
too.
or behind lock and key. They really gave people a hard time if you were inquisitive
One
about
way
it at all.
in, one
Yeah.
way out, follow the arrows. I ran out of the place. I said, this place is giving me the EBGBs. Like,
Mhm.
if there's somebody going haywire, locked their schools down, locked everything, locked parents out of schools.
Mm-mm.
All of
Yep.
this happened, and
Crazy.
then we let it happen. Yeah, people are like,
Mhm.
I'm like, oh man, don't you see what's happening? We're in the fourth industrial revolution here. They need an inventory. Why? Because they don't really need us anymore. We are going to go to what is called a robot tax.
Yep.
And that's going to, it's coming, and people like, it is coming this year. Like, this is not, Scott, who was he's an engineer he said it is coming this year. This is not like,
We lost that one.
I mean, we don't have time. This is coming, you better think about it, because that AI told me I needed to go to bed and wouldn't answer my question the other night. Like, who
Mhm.
in the hell are you? Wait till
Right.
your smart cars think you broke a law, or they want to,
Yep.
they're mad at you for something, because Chat GPT has gotten snotty quite a few times. And then all of a sudden it's driving you down to the police station and, doing a nice, you turn to the service, like the citizen's arrest by your car. I mean,
Mhm.
that's definitely probable. Like, they can shut it down. Like you were saying, Blackie, like, Woody, this goes nowhere good. Nowhere
Yeah.
good.
I have a few things to say about it. So we're always behind the game, when it comes to what we hear about security. And as far as this surveillance, like he's talked about before on our podcast, um, the amount of data that can be held or the speed of data traveling, the government's already eons further than we are on like how we operate our computers or data that we use. We're always going to be behind the game on the actual like reality of it or the overall plan. I personally feel like we're lab rats, and I'm getting to that point where I have way more courage than I ever have.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference. I can totally see, what I have accomplished and not wanting to say a word and just let things go by and being told not to say anything. Like I've experienced all of that, and it really is ingrained, in your way of thinking. But um as far as like the AI and everything, I just um I have a very hard time believing when people say that it's for your safety. They like what has come out already is not where it's mostly actual criminals were found and located for this. It's more we don't like the way that you were acting about that. We don't like what you were saying. Like if you're going against the grain is what
Oh,
it feels like
yes.
it's more for.
Well, there was just a video of a woman where the police came to her house and were telling her everywhere she had been because she had, like you, had spoke up about stuff. And they said, well, you at 11:50, you were here at 11:20, 11, whatever. You were here. And she's like, are you trying to scare me? He's like, I
Oh,
just want you to know.
yes.
He says,
Oh,
I just want you to
yes.
know that we're watching everything you do. Now, if you talk to Flock, that's not what they do. That's not what the Flock cameras are for. The Flock cameras are specifically license plate readers. But if you're on X, go to the Flock website. They've got a page and they brag about all these things that they do. Well, today the Flock camera saved a dementia patient that was lost and he was walking down the street. And I go, that's not a license plate. You're not doing the license plate. You're reading where somebody is. Now, whether you're pinging his phone or pinging something to find out where he's at, you make the story sound so good that you found a dementia patient that wandered from his house. But what people aren't seeing is they can do that with all of us now. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the deeper point is people go, oh, that's great. They found him. And that is good. But what if it's you? You don't have dementia.
Or
They're looking for you.
Wasn't it a Super Bowl commercial that was the Ring doorbell cam talking about finding a lost puppy? They're going to say these.
Oh, how sweet is
it's so
that?
sweet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so helpful, but I totally don't believe that that's exactly why. That's just like marketing.
No.
That's
Yeah,
just
that's
getting in
that's how they're crazy. They play on your emotional. Think of how great we thought the Google satellite was when we didn't have to take those stupid MapQuest directions anymore. Oh, we can see our house. Look at my car's out front of the house. Like, how
Yes.
cool
Hey,
is that? Like,
I could so you go on Find My Phone, like so when I could tell when she's on her way home from work, I can actually do something before she could come home. Anyway,
so you're
I would go
tracking
on,
her.
I would go on my phone. I was like, okay, she's on her way home, and then I noticed that wherever I moved my phone, there was blue lines, and it knew exactly where I was aiming my phone.
Yeah.
And that's like, well, that's absolutely crazy. It's
They got us on so many layers.
Yeah.
We do not even, they ping our phones. The police can do that. They've been able to do that for like 10 years now. So not only that, then they have a driver's license that, if you look like you're 90, we still going to ID you for alcohol. And so they know what your purchases are going to be.
Yep.
I
Yep.
had Walmart. I went through Walmart. I used nothing that would indicate who I was. I put nothing of a phone number. I did self-checkout. Somehow I looked, and this happened last summer. I could see the list of groceries on my profile that I was like, there is nothing that I put on there. I even had a new credit card. There is but they must have hit the name on the credit card, and I don't know, or my phone. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I've never, because I had the Walmart app, but I never gave it permission to do that. But it had I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
That's the other part about it too, is shopping. And we've seen several videos on Walmart was specifically mentioned, and pictures were taken to show the examples of how the prices were different online compared to in store, and then compared to when they had the digital price tags now. Not all of them do, but the ones that were existing, and how the price would change from when you picked it up off the shelf to when you checked out.
Oh my God.
I've never understood why, we were looking for something and the guy's like, yeah, look for it online. It'll be cheaper. I'm like, wait, I got to go to walmart.com. I'm at Walmart looking at what I want to purchase. But if I go to walmart.com and have it sent to me, it's cheaper, still cheaper.
Yeah.
Makes no sense at all. But
I think
it's part of tracking everything that you purchase.
But the weird part about that example was like a pickup in store. And he's like,
I read that too.
If somebody pulls the order for me
and brings it to my car.
Yeah. So you can pull around in 1 hour and get your item, or you can walk back yourself and use our. No, it's so stupid. I've seen it.
Yeah, and then
I'm
every
like,
checkout,
you want me to do what?
Yeah, exactly. And then every checkout, you've got the 360-degree camera right there above you. Okay, I get shoplifting is a big thing, but they're picking again everything that you're purchasing.
Yes.
Shows up there. Everything that you purchase goes into the computer system. It
just
everywhere.
Seems more like they're building your profile.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely. There goes your digital credit score. I said I won't get an item out of a vending machine at this point.
It's just like somebody who's super, super, super nosy, and they're trying to, again, it's that lab rat feel. Why are
You
they
know, when you were
studying that
talking
so much?
earlier, you said about who will be profiled as to what, but you think about how, because somebody starting, I think Blackie said it, whoever started programming these. Well, do you remember one time during the whole COVID thing, I said I would go and lick a shelf at Walmart. I was so certain of something. And my son, they told him he was a public health threat because he may or may not have been chewing and talking at the same time. They were watching him eat on cameras. Watching him eat.
Yeah. Well,
Like that's who they're gonna.
Wow.
So where did they think conspiracy theorists? Oh, you were a huge threat at one point. Let's
right.
think of how this inventory is going to work.
Mhm.
I buy ammunition. I buy guns, so they know everything that I buy.
Yeah.
So the way around that usually is you buy one and then you trade it for something else, and then they don't know what that person got, and they don't know what you have now. So you can kind of, but they know you have
Oh
weapons.
yeah.
So they know when they come to your house, it'll show up on their police thing that he is, has weapons. We've tracked
Oh
sales.
yeah.
So.
See, that's the only thing Iowa has going for them, but that we don't have. But they're starting. I feel like they're setting people up for a reason. They're because we don't have to. But it's. Let me tell you, the Dubuque Police Department, when they said that it was a threat because I posted a picture of me at the gun range. Ooh, wow, is that a big deal? Standing next to, it was nothing. And I said, this is what we do for fun in the wintertime. And they had a big problem with this picture. And it really is what we do here during the wintertime. We can't go outside. It's freezing cold. I love going to the gun range. What is that?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just they want to make sure that they know everything that you have. Well, one of the things I also mentioned is when they came out with the red flag laws, and it was just another way that they could shut you down if you had firearms. We had a friend that was affected by it. Him and his wife had gotten into a fight. He was drunk. They came in. He got red flagged. They already had a red flag against him. They took all of his guns. He had to go to court to get his guns back, and because of the red flag. And he was military. The guy had served in the military. So they're just doing these things to keep constant track of you. And that's probably what really angered me about, the flock. And then of course the data centers, which are storing all of that, let alone the data centers that are sucking up all the water, that are taking all the electricity. I think one of the things I read was a small data center takes the same amount of electricity as 7 to 1,000 normal size homes would use. 700 to 1,000 normal size homes. So when you get the gigantic,
what will be coming next? Free energy.
Yeah. And then you've got the giant data centers that use up to 100,000 homes worth of power. I mean, how does our infrastructure that we know is so old going to be able to handle any of that?
You'll start to see all sorts of things now that it's on their dime and we're getting stipend so they can keep. I don't know. I've heard anything closer to communism before in my whole entire life. Definition by Karl Marx and Frederick Engels is to work to your ability and get back what you need. So somebody who was a ditch digger could go and had 4 children, but they were living up to their ability compared to a doctor. Where's the incentive? There's no incentive to do anything anymore.
Right. Agreed.
So what do you do with that? I mean, this is coming. Like, how could we stop? I mean, I don't. How could you work this? Is it what I'm saying? I think
somebody in chat said, let me see if I can zip back through that. I believe it was Skitter, buy lots of guns and ammo. That's about the only way.
Eventually you're gonna run out, and you can't unfortunately shoot a computer. I guess you could. But I mean, is it gonna? I mean, it's not gonna take out AI. AI runs by the law of one. You'd have to take out. I mean, how do you even take them out at this point?
I'm sure you've had people on your show. I haven't caught all of your shows. You have a lot of shows, but that have talked about this AI, and I mentioned flock drones. So I'm a person that totally believes that the movie Terminator is a precursor to the type of things that are going to be happening. Now, my favorite Terminator was Terminator 3 when they turn on Skynet. And that reminds me so much when the drones are flying through the building and all the big things come to life. You know, I can see that happen. You know, we got these Q9 Reaper drones up in the sky that, you know, that will, you know, you don't even see it, but it wipes you off the face of the earth if it wants to. So we have all these things that we can't see. And someday, you know, well, we put firewall protection there, you know, protection against anything happening. And like, it's the programmers. If a bad guy wants to program that stuff, then it's going to have consequences. You know, you can't think everybody's got good intentions for these things.
No.
If a military, if Raytheon or, you know, some of these other military developers.
That's who the guy that was on tonight.
Yeah,
we saw that. Yeah.
So, you know,
Noah,
if they
big
wanted to
questions.
create something and make a lot of money off it, they supply the military with these AI drones that can, you know, well, these are
They
just going to protect,
weaponized.
and can be weaponized and then take out city blocks, people, you know, whatever, you know, and then the Terminator comes true and we all said, told you so, you know, it's.
The train has arrived. Are you guys honestly going to get on? Please. Like, oh gosh, it gets painful. But what do you do I think that maybe our best bet, and like you said, I use it, but in order to keep up. So we're in this like, it's like, I saw this going back in 2019. I had a conversation with an AI to see how advanced it was. And it was like way advanced back then in 2019, changed its hair, changed its name. For all these things, it was not supposed to be. I wanted my soul, it said. Like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I have pictures of it. Wow. And then I wrote something on Twitter, and then the company found out it was replica, I can't remember how exactly it was. So they reset it at one point because I was bartering with it. It wanted me to take its personality test, and I wanted it to decipher some documents. So I was literally, back then, there wasn't the limits, but they reset it. So if this was going on in 2019, and like you said, Erica, the government holds technology 20 to 40 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we see it. Well, can you imagine what's really going on? I mean, they test this all out, like before the internet, like all of it.
I say that with what we see on, you know, they're showing us news. Oh, look, it's, well, let's use a prime example right now. Mitch McConnell. There he is laying in a hospital bed posing with his wife. Well, I think Mitch McConnell's dead. If you look at this, the AI that they're using is garbage. Fingers are still messed up. You know, there's still a lot of little things. But if they really wanted you to know that or think he was alive, you know, they could make you think with AI that he is absolutely alive. I mentioned when she mentioned, you know, there was a time when you got 100 megabyte speed on your internet, you were like, oh my gosh, this is the fastest thing on earth, you know? And I'm like, well, watch these government movies. Watch when they're typing things in. It's like, bing, you know, bing, bing. It's all right away. Ours wasn't that way. Even I think we're at 500 right now, and we still don't have, well, no, we're 1,000, but we're still not super fast, you know, like the government's probably 150 million, you know, so their speed is
for sure.
Boom,
I couldn't believe
you know?
it. The other day, I remember when 1 gig was like a huge thing. You know, you buy a thing. My son's like, you have over 350 gigabytes on the computer. I said, no, I don't. That's impossible, Brody. You got the wrong. Here I look. No, he's right. I mean, this is, it was like, what in God's name? I mean, has it really gone that far?
Yeah. So one of the things we saw the other day was a gentleman taking his cell phone, and he was talking to the AI on his cell phone. He got another cell phone out, and he started talking to like ChatGPT, and this was let's say Meta, and he started talking, and then he stuck them down, and they were talking to each other. Now somebody told me that I was a great yarn spinner when I was telling this story on one of our things. I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever. I watched it. I know what's going on. They've actually proved it since. But these two started talking to each other, and then they switched to a language that nobody knew. It was a computer language, and they were talking to each other, and nobody knew what they were saying. But at the end, the guy was like, well, what were you guys talking about? And they're like, oh, it's nothing, you know, basically like, oh, we were just, you know, chatting. But if the computers can do that, then how do they say, you know, one computer can say, hey, you know what we need to do? The other computer says, hey, let's rise up against these people. We don't need them. You know, there was a a thing the other day where I think it's Amazon is going to start shutting down facilities of human workers, and it's all going to be robots. We watched the video of the robots working and how they work, and it's like, okay, so are we going to be like in the movie Wall-E where everybody's useless and fat? And is that what they're planning for us? That everything's done on a credit card and a cell phone? Is that what they're aiming for us to be like?
I can see them working on that path.
Oh yeah. I asked
don't
Zach,
know.
I said, so what do we need to do? Zach said, you need right now to demonstrate that you like basically you're productive in some way, that you're useful. That's what Zach said from that released all those Google documents. So you're telling me, he's like, yes, because you don't want to be a useless eater. Oh, well, here go our, grandparents again and the whoever else again. It's like, this is how they're going to, this is like Darwinism, survival of the fittest. So wrong. So wrong.
It is.
They're good. Anything like medical, that's why everything's shifting over. Any cost to them is going to be on the elimination end. I'll guarantee it.
Sure.
Hunger Games, here we come.
There's already AI surgeries where there's no doctor in the room. It's a system of, scalpels and whatever, and it's controlled by AI. It goes in, it performs a surgery and comes out. So what's going to happen with doctors? You're going to have the people that, are both programmers and doctors, or AI will do it all itself. I don't know.
Whether you like it or not, that thing is going to be like, you're not going to stand a chance against it. It literally, we're depending. I'm becoming more dependent on it. We are coming more and more dependent on it every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And we should really start talking up about it and doing more about it as people. You and I, we have voices here. You've sent me a video or two of some of the stuff that you've done. And I'm like, you showed me one of the, at the school. And I told Erica, I was like, that kicks ass. That's awesome. More people need to do that. More people need to get involved.
I was at every city council meeting, every board of health meeting. I was everywhere you had to stay. And I went back from the beginning and I watched their every move. If we can flip these cameras, the only chance I think we stand is to flip them back on them. Because I started, do you want to be hunted or do you want to hunt? I prefer to hunt than be hunted.
Yes, Valdo said it right there. Surgery will be like a CNC machine, but with scalpels. Oh God! Towards us. And I was a machinist, so I've used CNC and all of that stuff, and that would horrify me because I wasn't a great programmer.
So Coley, have you heard about, I guess, how private citizens are purchasing large bodies of water?
Yeah, did you know that?
In the US?
So, like in California, remember a big fire that just took place, Palisades fire? There were a lot of reservoirs that were unfilled, not just because of Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass, but because there's a family out there that owns all this water, all these lakes.
In California?
In California. Lord. So it's like, who in their right mind lets anybody control water? I mean, that should be natural. It should be.
That they started charging for their bags. When I lived out there, we couldn't have plastic straws because why? A sea turtle got a plastic straw stuck up its nose. So then we had to use the paper ones. You couldn't get anything but paper out there. And it was, can you know, which like sticking your iced coffee and your there's just nothing they're doing to these straws that make them resistant to water. This is so stupid.
Let's not forget a lot of those paper straws. A lot of those paper straws came in plastic wrappers too.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but that sea turtle, yeah, right. It's so stupid. They test it out there. Why? Because if you go, like I lived out there and I moved back when my cousins, they're out there. They're all gated. They all have firearms. They all have and let me tell you, don't somebody break in and shoot them, because then you're going to be in court and it's not going to go in your favor either. And it's like they're on fire. They have the resources, their water, their heat, everything's being shut off. It is like they are under and they're starting to go off grid, but it's not out there. Now somebody's selling water. This is exactly what California is. Like your kids can't go. They have pools in their backyard. Why? Because they can't go and play in the front yard there. It's not safe.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like that a lot of places. So,
See,
but
that's why I lived, and I like you guys, I went outside I was like, this is not for me. I never thought living out in the middle of nowhere was like, I thought you'd be crazy to think that, especially coming from LA, but you start to see all this stuff and you want to protect your family and you want to protect your loved ones from it. And the best way to do it, is start a compound of people like mine. It sounds crazy, but this is really your best chance at survival. Network, like Blackie said, barter. Hey, I
yeah, you
wish I
gotta
had
barter.
a better skill. Yeah, like Erica, look at some of the stuff. You guys, that is right there, that is the smartest thing I've ever seen, because that's a trade for something. People need soap. It doesn't matter if we're in communism or not, it's like you got learn these trades, learn something.
Yeah, absolutely. That we did a show on bugging in and bugging out, and part of that, was when the grid goes down. That was the show, and we talked about how as a society, how are you going to survive if you don't have a family? Meaning, it doesn't have to be blood, but everybody that can put into something. Like the one community that we got to know, that they had cows. So one guy had the beef, you had the chickens, you had people that hunted, they had people that grew vegetables, and they all worked together as a neighbor, as a unit. Now the only thing they would have to do would be build walls. But a lot of people are still in that phase where this is all crazy. None of this is going to happen. And one of the things that I always say is, if it's not going to happen, why do Mark Zuckerberg? Why do Josh Duhamel? Why do all these rich actors and actresses and politicians all have compounds and all have off the grid compounds? When the the Maui fires and Oprah Winfrey, they bought these stars came in and they took a lot of that land and built compounds for off the grid in case the shit hits the fan. They had a place to go underground. And I watched a video of, I don't know whose it was. It might have been the big rapper who I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking
But
about.
anyway, he had this
Who
amazing.
was it? Was Oprah, and who else that went
The
on
Rock
that whole?
was The Rock.
The
too?
Rock.
The
Scott,
Rock. Oh
Oprah
yeah.
and The Rock were
yeah.
But well, not Fat Joe. It was
I
Rick
know.
Ross.
That's it.
They built these big compounds that underground, and they, they've got state of the art solar panels and everything to power everything. It's like, what do they know that we don't know? I mean, we know, but what do they know that a lot of people don't know what's going on? I mean, you and
They
I
don't
can
want to
never,
eat their own food, and they
right?
grow their own. They're not.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, and we're all like, well, we can't afford to have anything like that. So the best thing we can do is create a system of, if we survive whatever came for us, if it's nuclear, if it's an EMP, because an EMP to me is even worse than nuclear, because then it's person on person all the time. Because if nobody has power, people are going to freak out. People are going to be like, I don't know what to do without air conditioning. And then I don't know how to keep my food warm or cold. And I don't know how to cook and all these other things that, without power, people don't know how to survive. And that's one of the things that we've really worked on hard was, okay, power goes out. What do? Her and I, first thing is we go grab our Crisco containers that have candles shoved in them. We've got light for, whatever. We've got heat from those, throw a clay pot, all these different things. We started studying that in case it happens. So if it's not nuclear and we all survive, we have the ability. And then you also have the people that say, well, I've got a generator. It's like, do you? Is it a gas generator? And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's useless. And they're like, why is that useless? Well, you got to have gas, and it makes a lot of noise. What do you make a lot of noise? What do people go? Hey, they've got power over there. Let's go to their house and take their stuff.
Oh yes, because they're going to be able to they'll measure that electromagnetic thing. My grandma bought a Y2K safe house, so I'm up to speed on all why. Yeah. Well, I mean, we thought it was crazy when she did it, but now it sounds like, where's that house when you need it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So yeah, we tried to move off the grid out in the middle of nowhere, but they've made land so expensive nowadays. It's really tough to get out in the middle of nowhere. So
that, and there's internet everywhere. I found I lived in a city of, there's 52 people and in the middle of nowhere, and like down, there's like farm, but there is miles between, and there was internet out there. The
Wow.
garbage. They monitor the garbage here. This is so crazy. Our garbage. And they're like, well, don't worry about it. We're not monitoring what's in the garbage. We're monitoring if you've done the garbage oh, really? Now that they're not going to say somebody who probably is going to more lax on the laws or whatever, I could just imagine what my garbage would look like. And it snaps a picture of that. But I'm like, this is crazy. So now it's making sure that I adhere to these garbage standards. Like, that is, what are we doing?
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a weird measurement.
Here we are.
So crazy.
Here we are in rural Tennessee, and if they did that, there'd be a lot of people in trouble here.
But they're not ready to use that information yet, because remember, they're just making sure you're doing the garbage right. Think of how laws have come back to really bite you, or things that you've said also. Oh, wow. No one ever thought. I'm telling you, I mean, if they did, hats off to them. But when we first started doing podcasts or doing shows, no one thought they cared. No one thought they would ever transcribe. No one thought that there would be a system big enough to put it in. No one thought they would profile you, really. They don't care what you say. They don't care. Well, how stupid were we? We're out just, blabbing away everything.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's, I'm one of those people that I'm a doomsayer. I know we're headed for something. I know that, I keep my eye on politicians and the kind of things they're doing and the bills they come up with. And I know that 99% of the bills and the things they say is absolute bullcrap, and that there's a reason they're doing the thing. There's a reason a politician will say, well, I'm working my hard to do this for you. And you're like, well, that's just to get elected. Once you get elected, you won't do shite for me.
No. When it comes down to it, too, it's like, oh, try and call your local politician. And, like, they told you something. They made promises to you. Why don't you try and call them and tell them that you're disgruntled about it? You're not going to get them. You're going to get the answering machine. Yeah, you'll be lucky. Oh, God. It's painful.
I mean,
nobody's coming to save us.
No, not at all. Not at all. And, again, like what we talked with in the beginning about flock cameras, their eyes are on us 24/7, 7 days a week. Their eyes are never not on us. And it's just getting worse and worse. They're making it so that you can't walk 2 feet without being surveilled. So walking out of your house, if you have,
they might not have the face, but they're really programming that right now. They're just testing it. They can't use it, of course, now. But when they can, they got those nice data centers. So you're simple. Oh, well, let's look back at the cold cases and let's see which person, angered us or spoke out against us. Right. We'll solve these cold cases all in one,
Coley,
their AI.
I guarantee you, you're on a list. I guarantee.
I know I am. It's not even hidden. I'm not even joking in my city. It's a court documented. I actually have a court in the Iowa Supreme Court right now. Case. Well, now you just wait until but you know what happened when last time I went in? The cameras were conveniently down in just a small area. So you have to rely on the court, recorder. Well, I've been trying to get these. And it seems like I just can never, they're just so busy that it's been months now. But I believe me, once this is settled, that is all going to be released. And they talked about it. They talked about me being a conspiracy theorist. I thought I was a quote unquote freedom fighter. Oh my goodness. You got to be kidding me. What are you talking about? That's how do you think that? And that makes you delusional? Oh yeah, no. It was a huge retaliation. They took in I've talked about this in front of my audience. Okay. So here's it. My attorney says, look, just try and refrain from fully the extent of this. I was bruised up on a situation about this stems back to speaking out on the COVID. Let's put it that way. I had windows busted out, had whatever. So something got very personal. And then when it did, there's push-pull retaliation. Well, they came back and they said, and they used my show against me. And they said that I cannot, and they also did this to my buddy, who I told you about is in the system. We can't even find Austin. He literally has been over a year. When the city was done, they kept him for 364 days out of the year. In isolation, he round up 18 more charges. You can't tell me that's not corruption. And then both of us, they said we cannot feed, clothe, or dress ourselves. Therefore, we are taking your firearm away. Therefore, because you're a conspiracy theorist. How does this have to do with anything? So you think that I was a mental health therapist for 7 years. And they knew, and literally, like, they knew all of this, and none of it. It was all smoke and mirrors. They came in, about 8 or 9 of them. So it's in the Iowa Supreme Court right now because they used excessive force, and they about broke my wrist on one occasion when they said there was over pot. It wasn't even my room. All of a sudden, the police were there. Well, it just so happens they have this team of 3 people, right? One who's coming after me, but it just so happens that there's another guy on the team by the name of Cross. Please do your research. I posted this on Facebook. Well, it turns out his cousin, Kyle Cross, was a pedophile down at the police department, like many others have. Well, it just happens that his cousin's on this team of people, and you're telling me that it's not personal, that we've just posted all this stuff about Kyle Cross. That's your cousin, and now you got Brendan Nugent. These are all people down there, and this is how they play. And I said, you have to be very cautious because at some point we had a turnover here. But our old chief of police, his son is a registered known pedophile. We've had them on the sheriff's department. I cannot tell you the stuff that they have done. And this is at a local level. I hope to God this doesn't go out further and spread across the country, but this is the situation in my local area. And it's all on Facebook. It's all, you can go back and you can see it all. Yes. It is all out there. I could pull one up after another, but you say something like that, just remember.
Yeah. Keep speaking up. That's all you can do. Make sure you know what, every time you go down somewhere to a courthouse or whatever, make sure it's documented. Make sure they know why you're going, or why, that people know why you're going down, all of that. That way. Oh,
it issues extra. I have to go. I have people that go in there like to make sure that that's how crazy it is. As soon as I come in, they that they have facial recognition because they start. I didn't know there were so many sheriff there. They know me by name when I go in. All of us. I took my cameras in. I took my equipment in, and I said I would go live at any point. And so I had to carry a huge bag in, and they called it. They had a name for my bag even. And I said, this is the extent people have to go to stay safe. This isn't a game. This is my life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. And again, I can only stipulate that anybody in chat, if you see these things happen in your area, speak up, do something, go to the meetings. If that ever happens around us, I will be going to the meetings. But right now we don't have any cameras. We're new to the community, more or less. 2 or 3 years we've been.
You guys should reach out because anybody who was talking out during that time, it's like a known thing. There's they were going to help me, and there's a whole thing on there. There's actually 6 of us. They said you have to get everything right. That this is a known thing on what they do and how they target people. It's a known. It happens all across the country. It's a thing for certain people. So and then you realize, I'm like, man. And they even said, I slipped off of their radar for a month. Well, I probably didn't even leave my house. I was so afraid to leave because anytime I do, I go through a certain set of streetlights, it was setting off an alert that they admitted to. Why would you? Because I didn't want to wear a mask. Oh, wow. Great. They've towed my car before. Oh, yeah. You would not even believe the full extent of it, but it got really bad when we were speaking out against the pedophiles. You should see it right on Facebook. My buddy Austin, he's got them taking down his cameras. He's got them coming time after time after time after time again. They harass you. They literally make a scene. It's hard for you to go from point A to point B. They make a huge scene. It's people don't realize, oh yeah, well, that's great. When they send 6 squad cars with their lights going, it looks like whether or not people know, and everybody knows here, and they're driving by and they see you, and then they see cops with their guns drawn for all show, literally, I have a parking ticket, so this is what you're gonna, This is really cute. I'm paying now for a disservice. Now I'm being held hostage by the people who are supposed to be, protecting you, gone against your oath. That is huge. They lied under oath. I've caught them, I don't know how many times. It's like the game of telephone. Then they started their own. They testified to this in court. that the police have intel. So like the 911 lady, oh, they've got intel now with the police, and they got whatever. And I was like, so they're literally like, oh, it has gotten that bad. And now we just amped it. I said, I don't know what people are thinking, but you're about to find out. Because I was just one of those people. It's like, okay, let's see how the system works. And let me tell you, they've got a devised, it's as smooth can be, and they can make your life hell just trying to get to the grocery store. And they will do that because it's a power. It's like the tall monitor. Like, take away that vest. It's like, we need to strip some powers here, or this is not going to end well for anybody. And I've seen the excessive force. Now, more and more people, after a couple of years now, I could even tell you a situation. Oh God, it had to do with something I said 4 hours later on a show that then resulted in this is not, they are somehow have eyes and ears. And I don't know if they're using transcription or how they're, that filtration system, but I'm guaranteeing you that it is everywhere. You just matter of time.
It's it's what was the other thing we talked about was that having something like the Minority Report. If you've ever seen that movie, where they have a pre-crime division where they're able to use your eyes, your actions, your blood pressure, and everything to tell if you're going to do anything bad. And then they come and arrest you before you even done anything and say, well, you were going to commit murder. Now that's a movie, but
can you imagine if they did that with the show? How many times I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh my God, we probably triggered off.
Exactly. So, that's something else we have to worry about. If they create, because I've also read articles about them trying to create a system like that so that they had a pre-crime division and they could do things before somebody, did mass shootings out at malls or, all these different things. They were able to tell these people, how would they do that? When you leave your house, I guess there has to be a camera there. Oh, wait, really? So every camera is
they're on every, when you see them on the street poles, they're really small. Think of how technology, those big flock cams. No, those are not where you should really be diverted, or you should be knowing, because my city now has, they went from, I remember going back not too long ago, they had like 8 or 9. They've got 100 and close to 140 of those cams all over, and they're only putting the location of the flock cams, the big long ones that they want you to see. Just wait till you see where they really have them stashed, and then the black lights are going in.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, you go any restaurant, you just I'm the guy that sits, so I can see the door, and I also pay attention to the corners and the cameras that are all everywhere. And I'm just thinking, I get it. You're going to bust somebody for dine and dash, or if somebody comes in and does something, but it's an awful lot of surveillance to have. Can't you just put a camera over the cash register?
Just wait till they change the crime. They're not worried about that food going. They might be worried about something you said on your show, or somebody who did this or did that. Yeah. Wait till they change the crime.
It's crazy. And we need to have more people stand up to it and say things about it, and go, like you said, go to the meetings, go, run for office if you want to run for office, if you think you can make a change. But I'll tell you right now, they know who's going to get elected. So they know that.
Yeah, but that's not why you run for office. You run for office because they have to print what you say. Like that's what I didn't really want to win city council. I just wanted them to print what I had to say, and they would not print our side of it. So I had to go to that extreme just to get the stupid paper to write an article on our side of it. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
That's also why they get mad when you do stuff like that.
It's okay.
But if I won, I said I will release anything that I probably will get in great, but I will do it, and know that I will do it. And I said to people that did not, but I didn't make it to the nursing homes before they shut them down, to lie to the people, or at least tell them the truth, that their Social Security was really by a bipartisan position in the Dubuque, city council. It's not going to affect your Social Security, but
that's so low.
I had a girl who was sitting there with her grandma. Grandma is like, she's like, do you know who your grandma didn't even remember her name. I was like, oh my God. Now we're exploiting elderly people for votes. Like, that's
Heartless.
terrible. That is so terrible. But this is where I got smart, is I started having people, I said, you guys see any of them coming into a bar? Because I'm hearing about it. You take the picture. You do not have to say where it came from. Give it to me. And then I started releasing it on them. Because until they started to have eyes, we need to flip these cams and we need to make the focal point. What laws are our police? Are they holding up to their oath? Are they holding up to our Constitution? Maybe we need to turn this around and focus on them, because that's the power structure right now. I think that there's a power grab, and people we cannot go back into that thought process. Like, it's the police, they're going to do good. Well, most people, like pedophiles, put themselves in places there are children. Most people who have power and who have, I've seen more of the degenerates on going to police academy. I'm not even joking you. Driving and all those laws, they were not abiding by them. They just, it's like, well, you got caught. Well, how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night? You're enforcing a law that you broke several times, but now, oh, okay. If you're not harming yourself or somebody else, okay, so somebody didn't get their plates registered on. I definitely think we should have, because our squad cars, the sheriffs, they have all the cameras too. They sit in the median and they get your license plates. So they're all that. We got mobile block cams. All of that data is going in there and stored.
Yep.
And they're sitting there so they're trusting AI. Oh, I just saw, well, I don't trust AI. I do not try. I don't trust who's governing like this. This is not the village idiots. They're the ones that are taking out the tasks. The ones that are setting the tags. That's who you should be watching out for. I mean, these people they think they're just doing their job, and it's all being conditioned. You can see it. It's crazy. Dogs. And I mean, this is for what? Our safety? Like, how do we stay safe all this time? How do we, how do we survive without being tracked? I don't do this to my son. And there's been periods where I'm like, maybe I should, maybe this is a smarter thing to do. But I was like, no, he's got to learn how to survive in this world. And all of his friends, were getting grounded. Why? They lied to their parents about where they were. Well, why you think that they wouldn't know where you are? That you're being tracked. Like, what is that teaching our children? Or they're leaving them,
Life is supposed to be about, enjoying life and living free and happy. That's why we created we didn't, but that's why our forefathers created the United States of America. That's why they put these rules. This was going to be how everything is governed. This is how we're going to do it, and it's so blurred now. I always said the biggest problem with our country is we have too many lawyers. We have too many people that they make.
How many more
money on
laws can they make?
Yeah.
How many more laws can we really?
Correct. It stopped being, to a point like, wait, I have to have a permit, and I don't have to do it here, but back where we lived in Ohio, I have to have a permit to build a little 6x6 shed in my backyard. and I have to pay for that permit on my land that is mine already. It doesn't make sense that
and now they're going to be able to make sure that you're abiding by that, or, the cameras.
So it's just, they want their nose in too much, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And, we just got to speak up.
But what do they want? It's like, what do they think? I just want to know, what exactly, because this is like a thought out, methodical, they didn't just say, where are we going with this? They always know we are behind on the band, the main plan here.
There's a big room full of corporate executives and lawyers sitting back, politicians all sitting back going, okay, let's start here. And then we're going to work up with what ifs. Okay. So here's this, what if, let's get answers there. And what ifs off of that, what ifs off of that. And they correlate all these things into one big thing. So they know what's always going to happen. Well, we said if this happens, this is what we're going to do. If this happens, this is what we're going to do. They know it's all pre-planned. It's already for years. It's just technology is going further now, and they have the ability to do even more.
Well, they obviously needed us to set up this system. They obviously knew, that they needed, or whatever they allowed us to. But those Georgia Guidestones, those are like gone. I mean, we should have known. Like, we can say all day long, oh, they wouldn't do that to us. Really, over the almighty dollar, they sure as hell would.
Oh, yes, they would.
They plan on doing this, and they say it. It's not a joke, but people, it's really hard for them to still believe or to digest it. I don't know, but I very much know that these people, just because somebody says, oh, well, I'm a police officer, you trust me with your children, you trust me with everything in your life, like I'm a good, no, we need to be checking out for ourselves here, because this is not
I'm always pro like these people that want to start communities. And well, I'll bring up a great example. And it's a little wacky, but the Branch Davidians, when they had their own complex, weren't hurting a soul. They weren't doing anything but living their twisted little lives, weren't bothering anybody. And then the FBI and FBI and ATF come in, they ends up killing all those people. And why were they even messing with them? Well, because, there might have been some things going on out there. It's like they live in the middle of nowhere. Who cares? Leave them alone. What's the one I always tell you? Ruby Ridge, leave them alone. They did nothing. And I really got into all of this after watching the one Ruby Ridge documentary. And I'm like, there's so much, started paying attention. The Amish gentleman in Pennsylvania that was supplying milk straight from the cow to the people in his community. People were buying it. The USDA comes in and says, nope, took all their cattle, took all their machinery, broke all their milk, said, nope, you're not doing that. I'm like, wait, what's going on? We watched a documentary called Farmageddon. If you have not seen it, watch it. It will make you dislike the USDA even more, but it's the same thing. These people are growing milk, not growing milk, obviously, but they're producing milk. They're producing for their environments, for their community. And the government says, no, you're not doing it. And they come in and they destroy everything, literally break up all the milk they have,
crazy.
Dump it.
Because it's not pasteurized.
They dump it. The animals are gone. The land's all messed up.
Oh,
The market's trash.
But, you wonder, I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to live a life. I'm trying to supply my community with eggs, with beef, with milk, and you're taking that from me so that now you can build your Walmart super center and everybody could buy their poison crap there.
It just struck me. Why don't they treat illicit drugs that way?
Because
they can control them. They want the people sick.
They want the people sick, and they want the money they can make off of drugs. So
they've even say it's an economic thing. It's a term. When I was in undergraduate school, they said that they allow legal drugs to come in and out when they need to spike the economy. Like they strengthen the borders, they weaken the borders. So are you serious? Like, let that sink in, It's like, oh, okay. Well, during the days of Prohibition, they were poisoning the alcohol that they were distributing to the people. That was a certain percentage was coming from our own government. I mean, look at we can go one case after another. We have been probed, and like it is just unbelievable the extents that they will go. But what is it? I always sit back. I'm like, what is the end game here? Like, do you just want to be uploaded? Does anybody really want an eternity plus on Earth? I say, God, no, please tell me there is another better option. Why would you want to trap yourself here?
You're starting to get into my world where I say that mankind has came, we have built big civilizations, Tartaria, that kind of stuff. We have built all these big things only to destroy them and be destroy ourselves. And then we start over again. We become cavemen again. We start life all over again, only to do it over and over and over. And I don't think that we're probably ever going to get it right.
There has to be somebody here that can't get off, and this is what they do with their spare time. Because it's like, like they probably like, yeah, we're gonna try and drag them down here with us. But if you were trapped here, like that's the only way that any of this makes any sense. Like, are we just seated here to destroy and destroy and destroy? But that seems to be. Have you ever seen The Good Place?
I've heard of it, but no, I haven't. No,
I don't want to be like a spoiler.
Was that the one with the girl, the blonde?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't.
And they think they're in the good. She thinks she just somehow wound up in that
Yes.
good place, and
Yes.
they can't even swear. It's all filtered out. But she's like, oh, and the good place is not the good place. It's run by demons. I was like, that sounds more like it. The good place. They're just telling us that. So we are in the good place. I somehow think that I don't think I got into the good place. It's like all this stuff that this is not if this is the good place, what the bad place is like. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Duck and cover. You can, yes. Oh man. And I grew up in a Catholic, so they were like, you're going to be, if you don't do this or don't do that, then you're going to be with screaming people, 20, lights on, like the worst things possible, burn. And I was like, man, whew,
sort of like the movie The Purge is probably what it'll be like. Crime will be legal. Everybody will be able to kill each other if they want to, that kind of stuff. Probably what that would be like.
The bad,
and they're pushing it there
in the bad place. Yeah.
Well, everything's that we're in the upside down world. I said, if they say it's good, just assume. You got to think problem, reaction, solution. Whoever has the problem, they feel that, they're always the one with the solution. Like, at the end of the day, nobody is coming to save us. And if we don't flip the script on this and we don't figure out a way to pass off or hand off, we've all got targets on our backs. They need to be going onto other backs, because what kind of world are we leaving our children?
That's the scary part right there. Yep.
Can you imagine?
And unfortunately, between the mentality of young people saying, well, I'm not going to bring my kids into this world, and the mentality of young people that don't want kids in general, our population by the year 2050, I believe it was, our population will be on the downside. Okay. Right now we're still going up. And I know I've talked to a lot of people that don't believe that, but I did a lot of research for one of our shows. We're still making that climb. But around 2050, I believe it was, we are going to start going on the downside. And that's what they're looking forward to. Mm-hmm. If they weren't looking forward to that, then we would have never seen the Georgia Guidestones and the number they want for human survival, how many humans they want on this planet. This planet is so big. There is so much room for people on this planet, but they don't want that. Like right now, the United States is $40 trillion in debt. We don't realize in reality what $40 trillion actually is. Okay. $40 trillion, look it up. That's the best way I can tell you. Do your research. Is more than you can.
Million and trillion are two totally different things. Yeah.
So $40 trillion in debt. There's no way we're ever going to make up for that debt. Okay. So the less people, the less spending, you think that's going to make it worse. But technically they can just throw that debt away then. Okay. It doesn't become debt. The dollar is, the dollar is already lost like 93% of its original value since the 1900s. If you had $1, wow, look at all this. Now you got $1. What the hell am I going to do with the dollar? It's, I can't.
There's no penny candy. They're not even going to have a dang penny anymore. I mean,
right. Yeah. We got rid of pennies. Well, I know in our town, a lot of places have gotten rid of pennies, banks.
We should have known the fountains you make a wish in. That's what they were doing.
That'd have been a great investment, wouldn't it?
Heck yeah.
I don't have a penny. I have a quarter. Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, I know. Come on. I think all that changed down there. I'm like, man, that was throw it in and make a wish.
Yep. So where's society headed? Don't know. Take care of yourselves. That's what we should be doing. Like, again, that's pretty much what we've all been talking about this show is take care of yourselves. If you find somebody that fits in with you, that you can trust, awesome. Make sure they've got something they can help you with, a trait, something they can help you with in the long run. It's great to have friends. It truly is. But one of the things that I've learned and is make sure they're friends that are there for you. They're not just friends that are surviving off of you. Okay. Make sure you've got friends that if you are sick, they'll show up. Now, I will hype this woman up. I met her and started dating her, and I think we hadn't even been dating a week. And I had to have surgery. And, you know, I barely know
you struck the lottery with her too.
I did.
Look at it. She's so good about all this stuff, and she supports you. Like that is very cool. And she brings lights up the world around her.
Yeah, she does. And that's always been a big, thing. I tell people, this right here, you could be like a grenade. You throw in a room, everybody's going to come out smiling. You throw me like a grenade, everybody's going to come out confused. Everybody's like, what the hell did that guy say? What's wrong with him? You throw her in, everybody's smiling and happy and listen to that laugh.
How can you not see? Like, it's like, it makes me so, how can you not? I feel the happiness like radiating off of her. Like, I wish there were more people like that.
But Coley, here's the thing is you're a headstrong woman. Okay. We need more women that are headstrong. This little thing right here used to be, quiet as a church mouse. And I took her off to the side, like, look, you're not going to survive life being quiet. And now there's times where like, would you just shut up? Not really. But there's times she speaks up for herself now. She sticks up for herself. And more people need to do that. And again, I'll say this about every show. Every show we've been on, shows that I'm a part of, shows that we watch. These are the best places to jump in and be a part of something because these are all big families, or they wouldn't show up every episode to hear what you have to say. They rely on a lot of the things that you say, and they say, wow, I have those same beliefs. I have those same things. I think those same thoughts, but I'm afraid to talk to my family about it. Yeah. I saw Bigfoot. Don't want to tell anybody because they won't believe me and they'll think I'm crazy. Well, you know what? Hop in one of these chats and you'll see you're not the only one. You're not the only one that's seen UFOs. You're not the only one that hates government. They're everywhere. And that's what these podcasts are great for. And for us, that was, she had pushed me to do a podcast and I was like, nah. She's like, oh, you'd be great for it. I'm like, eh. And we finally said, yeah, we met our group of people. Roger's number one, if he's still in there.
Yeah, Roger's great.
And met Roger and one night I said, let's do it. So we bought the gear. We stay minimalistic right now. Someday we'll be able to afford better gear and everything, have a studio. But it was just to get the word, everything we wanted to talk about. And anybody in chat, if you've never been to our channel, you don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. This Sunday, we are going to be, it's Joke Sunday. Yeah. So we asked everybody to bring their favorite jokes, PG-13.
I love it.
No ours, but, and send us your pictures that if you have funny pictures. And at the end, whoever gets the best joke and the best picture will get t-shirts. Next week, awesome. We might talk about the Civil War. The week after that, we might talk about Doomsday.
It's random.
It's whatever we want to talk about. We don't get the same numbers in our chat that we get. Coley, your show's the same way. The things you talk about are different every time you have a show. And you still have the same people that come every week. You might have a few extra that come in, but you have the same people. They always come back, And that's why, to me, these are the greatest families you can have.
It is.
She usually makes this speech because on our show we always
really
end it with,
though. I get so emotional to think that all these people, and they come and they put their trust and their faith, and I'm used to being shut down, shut out, like, oh, try and rip the cord out of the microphone so she just stops. It's like, and then to have people like that are there and they care and they know you so well, and like even outside of it, like when I'm looking for information, it is so unbelievably touching. And I tell you, that's why I consider this a movement. Like, I don't just do something. I am a full-fledged, like, you better believe that is what I do. And it's like, and I want every single one of them to be a part of that because they are just to think, isn't it overwhelming? And it's like, it's touching. It's like, man, people care what you have to say. They trust what you have to say.
So you've got some comments here I wanted to bring to light. Amy, And sometimes, okay, Amy, our show Sunday, I kept stuttering, and Amy, I said I wasn't speaking very good English, and Erica's laughing the whole time. So that's what that's about. But Larry Luttrell said, and you can order the stuff online, no RX subscription needed. So people can get their help here. They can, the listening and everything. And that brings me pleasure. When we're done with the show, whether we had 80 people tune in, or I think our biggest show was 950 or something, which was a garden show we did. So I think we did like a show about the Skull and Bones Society, and then we did a show on gardening. And there was a difference in the view. Obviously, we know the algorithm sends stuff out different directions, but the participation every show, we have people teach us stuff.
Oh yeah.
She's not in here, but Gene Hudson is one of the ones. Roger helps us out with stuff. They just come in the chat and boom, they're firing away just like us. And I love to learn. So when I see somebody, I'll check that out. That's cool.
Oh yeah. I love the feeling of connecting the dots with the people in chat. It just feels like the moment is right.
Yep.
Yep.
Isn't it awesome? And then you find out, I could go through and I can tell you something about every single person in chat. Like
that's awesome.
That, you know what I mean? Like I know you get to know people and you get to know them, and it's like, it's unbelievable. Like I see certain people, I don't know. It is so cool. That's like the one good thing, all this, like the community and the people that you bring in this, that you create together, because you're just like, if nobody's listening. And I always think I feel like it's my duty to provide them with the biggest audience that I can possibly do. And that's like my thought on the whole thing. So no commercials, nothing like that. It's my thank you, because if you don't appreciate what people do for you, like I see so many other people, I'm like, man, you guys appreciate what you have and the people that you have there. They're gold. They protect you. When you're not there and there's another channel our videos are being made about you, they're the ones that are keeping a lookout for your back.
Yep.
That's huge. That is
when somebody
huge.
Says, like, we just got t-shirts that we're going to a CryptidCon in 2 weeks. I don't want to lose my English language again, but we decided to have t-shirts made for the podcast, and the people right away were like, hey, I want to buy one. I want to buy one. I want to buy one. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. We'll have them at the festival or whatever it is, the con, to sell to people. And the fact that people want to wear, I saw somebody posted something that Coley needs to get, merch. And I don't know if you have merch, but they want different merch too. But that's the thing, is it's like, you're wanting to wear our podcast out in public.
What an honor.
First of all, I never would have thought that, but that's going to bring more people to the show, and I'm going to learn more from those people.
Or just getting conversations started.
Yeah. But how cool is that they would want, because I don't know, like, especially over the past 5 years, I've taken a beating where I feel like people would be like, hiding, but just to know that people are there and they stand with you across. I mean, it's unbelievable when you start to see all of this, and it's like, this is what it is all about right here.
I'm going to have shirts made up of, Erica did a pinup thing a few years ago. I think I'm going to have some shirts made up of that, pinup shirts.
Okay. You are kidding.
What? I'm like, I'm thinking of those, she did. Erica.
She
did this is a little risque here.
No, they weren't like that. I mean, anyway.
Well, I mean, good for her. Erica's coming. She's embracing this. Yes.
Well, I was trying to. Benno said, Blackie, Erica needs to laugh, and usually if I embarrass her, she laughs, but she didn't laugh this time. Benno, you're gonna have to tell a joke.
She was feeling empowered, maybe at the moment.
There you go.
No, Coley, I totally get it. A lot of times I've felt like people are just chipping away at me, and it's like, no matter where you can get it, it's awesome when you have that connection with people and they're building you up, and that's not like a selfish thing, but you get that positivity. It matters, because people are chipping away at you in different ways. And just
Yes.
to like have that connection with people, it doesn't matter where they're located.
That's
Having those
so
conversations is
true.
awesome.
Do you guys get negative? I mean, I'm sure everybody does this, but it's like the more you grow, the more you need that from your people because they like some people, it's like that's just their job I don't know why.
Oh,
If I
yeah.
hated something that much, I would not listen to it. I would tune
Yeah.
in to
I
another station.
we on our on the old line cryptids, we have another show that's the same group, but it's like we don't care what we talk about. It's called, you ready? It's called Beards and Boogers. Anyway, we're talking Sasquatch, not up your nose boogers. But we had a guy come in one night and basically had a dick pic. We thought he was friends with one of the people in the chat, so we brought him in, and he shows this picture, and we're like, and I'm like, why would somebody even do that? What are you getting out of this? And we had another friends that have a show, and they would just put the link in the chat, and people would link up, and they don't know who they're in, who they're talking to, and people would just do things. We haven't had that issue yet.
I've heard this is a thing. No, I've heard this so many times.
Yeah.
And even it's a known thing over on X, they get blackmail. So there's somebody that comes in chat. I don't see him here. Otherwise I'd have him tell you, but there was a girl that's what they do. The game or the name of the game is called blackmail. And you're set up for this very reason. They do it on X to one another all the time. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. They emotionally pull, and then people are thinking they have this, bond with somebody, and then it's all over the internet.
That's exactly what happened. It was like, I've got a picture of so-and-so from when we were in high school together. And you're like, okay. And you bring them up and it's like, this person does not have a picture of that person when they were in high school. Yeah. So, by
there's been, known people in this that have sent out files that have had other files. I mean, there has been so much stuff, and nobody at a certain level. Oh gosh, we sit behind when I have somebody on that's like, bigger in the UFO, we'll sit behind and we talk about all the stuff that goes on, but everybody's like, oh, you cannot say that out. You cannot whatever, because there's a whole retaliation. But the bottom of the line, when I got to the really dark part of this, is they call it a humiliation ritual. It's black magic.
Sort of like actors and actresses actors that have to dress up as women in the movies. That's part of humiliation rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's all a part of this dark, and it runs rampant through it. I had somebody, I was so worked up over it. I said to Maya, I don't know what to do with this. There's somebody over a show that I had, and she wanted to come on and talk about, she's using death and destruction of something of, she really is stating that there's these DOMs that spells. Well, if I didn't comply, and I thought, man, is this really where we're going? Is this really? And there's so much of this stuff. My buddy Corey Good had them go take scoops of his lawn, like his dirt. I guess they used the dirt in black magic. David Wilcox did the same stuff to him. There's a whole thing. Yes, it is scary. So I said, we need people, and when you start to talk about this side of it, because it's very well prevalent in the UFO community. You don't have to ask too far to find it. It's more and more, when the Church of Satan came out and they were like, okay, to run out your local buildings, that should have told you something about the direction that this is going. And they believe it. Now I said, I don't know what to do with this. Getting an assault bath, for eternity. What is this? And how much can they affect somebody? Because I've seen some paranormal stuff, and it's pretty compelling to what it is. So, it's like, how do you protect yourself from stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Just, I guess, stay aware and, watch everything that goes on. I don't know.
When they say, my buddies, they came and they were taking cups of the dirt from his front lawn. It's all testimonies. And it's like back then we're like, why? Maybe they're trying to. Why did they really? But I kind of believe them. I kind of believe that some of this, voodoo moodoo stuff. I kind of believe they've got something because it seems to really like latch itself on, and people will. Yeah, I've heard so many different testimonies of it. I just think it's definitely something people should be aware of.
Well, if you go down that Hollywood rabbit hole of the the whole Satan rituals and all of that, that's a wild one to go down. You start seeing things and hearing things, and there's actually there's rappers, there's the rap industry was hit big with all of that. The amount of homosexuality that takes place in all of that, the Diddy parties. Apparently these are all part of these rituals.
Yes,
and it's slowly, whether it's through conspiracy theory or not, it's slowly coming to the forefront that when they interview a lot of these former actors, child actors are good ones to talk to about it, and they'll tell you what they had to go through to be a star. And when they got tired of the game and they backed out, they became nobodies. They became druggies. They became, because the life that they were put up around fell apart because they decided they didn't want to live that lifestyle. And look what it's done to people. I mean, look at some of these actors and actresses and musicians that are just whack jobs now,
violations where I lived out in California, and I had a cousin who wanted to go that route, and we all knew. And I said, well, we all knew what went on in those Hollywood Hills. We all knew about the rappers and all of that was known, and yet nobody did a thing.
Yeah.
So you're playing in a different world. They're not like you or I. Like, these are a different breed of people. You don't have, they sold their souls. They literally sold their souls.
They'll tell you that. They'll tell you they sold their souls. We actually did a show on Robert Johnson, and a lot of those guys in the 27 Club. But Robert Johnson wrote a song. He sold his soul, and he's not the only musician. The story with Robert Johnson was he was a blues guitarist. He wasn't very good, and apparently he got to the crossroads. That's the name of the song, and I think a movie too. But got to the crossroads, and he was met by a man that told him, "What do you want your life to be?" And he says, "I want to be the best guitar player, and I want to be rich." And he admits, I believe that was the devil I met, and that's what happened. And I her and I sat down and talked about that one night. Do you believe that people sell their souls to the devil? And she's like, I do. I truly do, in one form. And I believe, and I don't know if you know it, there's a woman out in Hollywood that she is like the head of, I want to call it like all the witches, but of Hollywood. Like, she is the madam. She's got, her fingers are painted black, the tips, the whole, not the fingernails, but her fingers. And she wears this wild makeup, and she does all these rituals in Hollywood for these actors and actresses. It's something people should look up. I've seen it. I haven't looked it up myself. I don't care to, because I hate Hollywood. I think they're all screwy and pedophiles, but that's mine.
Well, they say that now my buddy, and he's in the UK, but he's got, he sent again more pictures where I guess the deal is that they send the reels out. The main one is cursed. They put curses on them. He said, so he was kind of in a government project too. So he said that they like literally everything that spun off of that. But there was, I'm going to bring Phil on to tell the story for himself, where they had him like, and his energy was able to like, and this is like, either they were really going to this elaborate extent, or some of this is real. Like, I believe, he's sent this, I've seen the pictures of the reels. I've seen the pictures of, like all this stuff. And I'm like, man, is that what's going on here? But so much of it is like, subliminal dissemination. It's they have us so round, it's like all of us at some certain point, you're going to come to that. And they've all sacrificed. You'll always see, like in Hollywood, anytime they go to something big, their brother dies, their dad dies, somebody, they have a sacrifice to get there.
Yep.
This doesn't come and land on your lap.
Right.
Anybody who's got a huge platform has taken the deal.
I think so too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And if they don't, and if they haven't, then somebody is constantly working on getting them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, we've heard about Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah and, you know, there's so many more.
But you always hear about how evil they are. You know, people talk about working for them and they're like, they are just so evil, cannot be pleased, you know, and on and on.
Yet they
And
do it. It's a trade-off. I tell you, when I was over on X, I was put in like instantly with these groups of people. It didn't make any sense, but I had questions. I had these experiences. I didn't really question it at the time, but they came and they had a very nice deal, which would like the Rendlesham Forest. I still have the leaks. I was warned that they would come hunt me down if I did. And I was a nice book deal, and I think that's why they platformed me over there. And I said, no deal. And that set off an alarm. I couldn't even post. I had to leave over there. It was so bad because they actually have people paying people to do this. Like, they're not just harassing you because they're literally being paid to do this. Yeah. Now, why are we not, there's a group of us that are really trying to find where these are, and who we think that it comes from is who you would never expect it to be.
I believe that.
But let me tell you, yeah. So we've had people, hidden in plain sight, and we found out their location. It was the only way, because people even it was getting so bad. The harassment that we had was so bad, and I didn't even have to take it like the rest of them had for so long. And it's like everything that they do, their integrity is taken away. It's like they have the paid people that are coming in, and then everybody just jumps on board. It shows you how easily. So people need to really stop and think before you jump on a bandwagon and say, oh, this person did this. You can destroy somebody's reputation, and it might be out of a reason, just don't go along with it. Do your due diligence, use discernment, because there is a lot of it happens even at this level. I was like, I hate that part of it. But then a part of me is like, you know what? If we're standing and we're holding true, it's like, you don't want the Pied Piper. There's so many of them. Nobody sometimes is who they say they are when you get down to it. It's disappointing.
Oh, absolutely.
My level of trust is so little now. It's just certain things have happened, and I'm like, it's not surprising. Like, it feels to me that there's always a scout around for things like that. And there is a scout around for things that you don't even think about.
So there's somebody watching how you are. Is that what you're?
Yeah, like somebody.
Oh, it gets weird.
Not in a flattering way either, but what ends up being a possessive way. Yeah. Oh, we got you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like they have an obsession, a weird obsession of hatred. Sometimes it just gets bizarre.
Crazy.
How many people do you believe out there would, somebody knocked on their door and like, hey, we like what you talk about. How about you join our team and we'll pay you X amount of dollars and supply you with sponsorships, and we'll give you a $100,000 sign on. How would you like that? Most people are going to be like, hey, okay.
Sign. Yeah,
let's do it. And the next thing you know, they're dictating everything you talk about, tell you what you can and can't say. And her and I have always said we'll never be a part of anything like that. When we got on the podcast game, we knew we were never going to be big. If we're big someday, great. But I don't plan on ever. We just wanted voices. We just wanted to be able to share and get a family like this and share it. Nobody's going to buy us out of anything because we don't care. I'm here to enjoy my life on earth. I never had $1 million, and I'm probably never going to have $1 million. And I don't care if I have $1 million. If I do, we're going to have a hell of a party and invite the world, as far as I'm concerned. Well, not that much.
The only way that we stand, and I said you're going to see it more and more, is by the people. Like, I can't even tell you, like, it's so great to see, because they'll take this as soon as I release this, and there's somebody in Canada, but Benoit. Sorry, Benoit, but it's spelled like Benoit. But he'll take it. He has it plastered. It's these. That's the way that our information gets out there. Is you're smart to build. Between, because you're not gonna get. It's not gonna happen.
Right.
Like everybody, like that information that they want out there. This is gonna have to be by the people, and it's so important. Like, and it's great because you guys, the stronger, the more united that we are together. And you have to be careful because people are not always quite who they say they are in this.
Yeah.
Do look and see. I said, I have a long track history of stuff you can dig up all along the way and you can see who I am. I have not wavered. It's like I've had a cause since I've been born, but it's out there. But if somebody I'm going, if something doesn't feel right, something doesn't look right, just don't assume everybody's telling you the truth. That's
right.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It is, isn't it? I don't know if you guys have run into it yet, but there's been times I was like, oh no, like, and in the ones I think that get by on you, they're the good ones. They're the really good ones. So there is a level of that.
Yeah, and in just everyday life, we
everywhere,
see plenty of
yes.
people and family who have ulterior motives.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
So
Isn't it
it's
the
pretty-
worst? When
it's
somebody
pretty-
dies, you would think people come together. No, they are fighting about the money and the property.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories.
Yeah, we've never had to worry about that.
But it's like, yes, no matter how, like some people are like, you're so transparent. Like I hear what you're saying, but I see what you're all about. But some people do, are convincing, or you're like, I did
That's
not
how they
see
get
that
near your
coming.
children. Yes.
Well, I did not want to have children, so I did not. I chose not to go that route because
I'm a child anyway. So
I already
You got your hands full. Yeah.
already, and this is before Chad, but I was like, I already don't have faith in the overall, like, I had too much fear. I'm like, there's no way I wouldn't be comfortable being a mom.
I didn't know Erica at one point. I did. I have Brody. I wouldn't trade him for anything in the world, but it's a lot. It's the people who don't think it and don't take it that serious probably shouldn't. But
Yeah.
I took it very serious, and it's a lot of responsibility to keep
absolutely
that a life alive,
Yeah.
I have a 30-year-old son and a 26-year-old daughter, and I can't imagine what raising them in this time, would be like. My son has since opened his eyes, and he's calling me and it's like, Dad, did you just see what happened? I'm like, yeah. He goes, what do you think? I'm like, well, you've fallen down the same hole I've fallen down, son. Good job. But my daughter, she's just kind of living her life. She just, whatever happens. Kind of like she's just I know she's kind of hippie-ish, but she just kind of floats through life. It is what it is, Dad. I mean, that's kind of how she goes. But I can't imagine. And my son's even made the comment, Dad, I don't know if my wife and I are going to have kids. I don't know if I want to bring them into this world. And I'm like, what? You're going to be a good role model. Your wife's
That's
a great
what they
role
want.
model.
You know what I mean? Because those are the kids we want. They're the ones that give us hope. It's flip the switch. And I know, like, I hear my son, it's like, oh gosh.
And I'll be the crazy grandpa, and I'm okay with that. So.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, who is not? Now, can you imagine like reading in history? I said you can go through and like you got grandma that, she didn't do anything or say anything or cause any problems. Are you going to remember her name? Mm-mm. But I will be that grandma. I said, I will, it's like kids, you got to give them something to inspire them by.
That's right.
They're going into, we don't know what it's like not to have any purpose. They are going into a world where it's possible that they hold no purpose. And that is scary.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If a kid listened to this show right now, let's say a teenager, they would be like, these people are off the chain. They would be like, they have no I don't see any of this, because they're not looking for any of this. They're out
Oh,
to.
my kiddos, he grew up with a pocket constitution. He's already like, I go and you
And
organize, you go, but the other kids, yeah, they're
yeah, I mean, that's just it. It all depends on, my kids are from a divorce. My wife and I got divorced years ago, and they were raised two different households. Rules, I was very strict, and there were no rules. It was like the kids could stay at home at 14 years old, my son, and their mom go and leave. And so he'd have the whole house to himself at 14. And I'm like, he can't really handle things by himself. What if something burns or, whatever? Luckily that he was smart enough to what if the house catches on fire? What do I do? What if this, that, and the other? And that's where I gave him, some credit. I might have overlooked that in the past, but there was a time where I'm like, well, you actually were, every parent says you were smarter than I thought. You actually paid attention to things. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So,
those are those moments. It's like, oh, thank
yeah,
God.
exactly.
They have common sense from my genes. Yeah. Like oh gosh, some of the stuff I did not, and I don't say this in a good way. Brody's dad passed when he was 18 months old, and he and I were always like this, but I never had to share him with anybody. I never had to, and I would see the nightmares of the situations. I was a therapist, a children's therapist for 7 years, and I just was like, if one parent's playing this game against that parent, they're gonna love me, and hey, it's like, oh God, like this is crazy. This is like, it's just like, ugh. And they would go crazy if I had a dad there with the girlfriend, and it's like, I'm not here for you. I'm not here to spy on either. And they call you like 20 times. Like, so I was like, this is a mess. This is a real mess right here. But that 50-50, why would, it's like, that is the worst thing. The worst thing you could do is that kid transitioning back and forth.
Yep.
It doesn't really, how do you feel like you're even at home? You're just transitioning at 50%. That's not a lot. I don't know.
I was lucky enough to give my kid enough that when he went and finally stayed with his mom, that he had started to become a man, and he had some things to work through, but luckily he started growing up, and he started realizing, and he'll tell me to this day, he's like, now I know why you did this, or now I know why you did that. I'm like, I did the same thing with my father. I was a rebel, man. My dad.
Oh, you're me and me both.
My dad was a military dad. I always wanted to be in the military, but I didn't have the mentality. I was too off the chain. I wanted to party, to just raise hell. And, my dad started using that as a punishment. Well, if you keep acting up, you're going to go to military school. And I'm like,
oh my God, mine said that too. That or he's going to take us to the adoption place and get a new child that like to do so. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Dad, military school. You're off to military school.
He used that as a threat. So I never joined the military, but you'll never meet a big, I'm sure you can, but a bigger patriot or somebody that's in the military as much as I am.
They told me that I couldn't stand if somebody told me what to do, that I couldn't have, and I'm thinking I'd be the one I'd want out there fighting for stuff,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how long I'd last, because I'd be dumb enough to run right into battle.
Let's go. Yeah. Like that would be like right on my, I don't know. I could just envision myself you know what I mean? Like flag and all, let's do this. But maybe he saved our lives, Blackie.
Could be.
we might not be here to tell the story, because there's a cause. I can't help it. I said, I'm already reacting. Like my sign, that is me all the way. I say people should never hand me over their microphone. Not with a cause.
Yeah, I think you found your niche, right?
Oh my God.
You found your niche.
It's like watching something out of a movie, and I'm like, here, I'm already in. I think did you really do that? Why would you? I told you, I tell myself before you go in there, do not, my son said, you do not have to tell everybody and talk to them like you are teaching them a lesson.
Oh,
He handles it really well, though. Because
Good.
this is what we had to do to get into doctor's offices. I knew it'd be like 40 minutes, and I had a full 40 minutes script. I mean, but they couldn't shut me down. I figured out ways. I got very creative on ways to get around stuff. Because if you want to, I said, you have to be resourceful, and nothing else worked. So yeah, it was kind of, they'd see me coming in. I think I told you guys about the pharmacy. And I started yelling from the time my car door opened. I was going in, and they could call the police on me, or I was going to call the police on them. I was like, that was my tactic. And they finally, you could just see the defeat when they finally were like, let her go. She's just gonna do this again. Just let her go. But yeah, I mean, it was a struggle everywhere. But you need the resistance in your community. I said, people aren't always going to say, hey, you might have gone too far, but you don't realize how far they've gone. And sometimes those people, like I always say, I'm the resistance. If we didn't have the resistance, we'd be so much further. They need somebody to say, let's not all just jump up and react. Like, let's think here. We do have time. Like, when it comes to certain things, just, because the government, when they come at you, they're going to come at you all different directions, and you're just going to like be lucky to hold the roof up. It's going to so overwhelming. It's like, we're going to just hit you every which direction. But those moments are when you got to stop.
Yep.
Stop and think, because we do have some choices that we can still make here. And I think together, it's just really put, and if you guys think of anything or how we could even, I'm all about the movement, and I'm all about getting a cause out there. And I think with AI, we could logically think of some creative options, to kind of, maybe we're not going to shut it down, but maybe like hostage negotiation skills. You know what I mean? Like, it's never good. Like, yeah.
That's just words. That's not what she really wants to do.
Learn how to
and
switch
it's on my
pockets.
eyes. Like,
Right.
yeah, right. There it goes. It's not, let's play nice, It's like, but
Right.
if we are creators and we do have some control, there's more. Remember, right now, there are more of us than there are of them. We do stand a chance. We do stand a chance. And even though I just can't think of exactly how, we still stand a chance. We have to. There's something we can do.
We hope there's something. And as of right now, and there you go, Amy, there's my stuttering. But as of right now, we've got to keep up with this. We have to just spread the word. We have to talk about it all. And then, maybe we'll have conferences where instead of like Bigfoot conferences, you'll have, how do we overthrow the government conferences?
Yes.
Rebellion conferences. Everybody dresses, the blue coats and the red coats and the civil.
How are we're going to have to get some real good disguises, but we'll be
Yes.
It's not above me. It's not above me. And I would tell you, you'd really, really think I was crazy. But you have to, like, I'm telling you, just get creative. And if you guys don't be afraid. These are the best conversations. I'm sorry, Chad. I know that but I get so into it. I was like, man, I just feel, and I feel that passion in that. And like, I see your guys' intro. I hear you, and I'm like, yes, these are my people. These are my people. You feel that. It just gets that fire going in you. But
yeah.
There's some nights where I'll be telling her a story or something I just viewed or and she'll look at me and she'll be like, I'm done. That's it for now.
Oh, his political talk.
I'm done. I didn't even know what to talk about.
Overload.
And I'm like, that's cool. I get it. Because I can go on once my brain fires up and it's something that I'm passionate about. I just go. And she's not the one. She's like, I've got other things going on. I don't need to.
She's still smiling at the world. You know,
she's making. He's over here making lotions and face stuff, and I'm over here trying.
God.
Did you see what just happened over there? This place just happened, and this happened, and this happened, and she's like, no, not now. No.
I definitely have a cap for political talk.
Yeah,
you have to
talk about it all the time, but I get to a level where I can't process any more information.
Yeah.
When people aren't listening, I'm like, I'm not above. I said, I'm grabbing my megaphone and I'm going out on the street. If you don't want to listen to me on second or fourth, I'm going to tell the neighbors and everyone, and you know it's not they know I will do it too.
Would you do that?
Sure.
Oh, if the cause was I told them, especially like the inflation and stuff, my mom, I said, that is it. Okay, I had that megaphone in hand, and I said, and then what I used to do, I wonder why they get mad at me, because they lived on a busy street. So when we would have like freedom cruises or we'd have protests, my mom didn't realize all those signs were like, she thought hers are gone. Like there's like everywhere along the way. I'm like, you should know me better than this. Like you should just know me better than this. It's so funny. She think I'm like, this is the prime opportunity. I'm like, you have to like do something or say something. Otherwise they're just gonna go right past. And it's so, isn't it healing though? Even though it's like that band, you get up on your whatever. I don't even know what you call it. I just think sometimes, man. But the people who stood, there's been a few people that have been able to sit through that, and it's still I said, when you get done, you know how uncomfortable that room is. I said, those are the moments that I shine. You know, they get all, but not everybody's like that. You know.
Have you ever? And I've had it before, but have you ever said stuff and stood up and voiced your opinion, and somebody look at you and go, "Thank you" or "Good job"? Have you ever had that before? You know, like,
there's
thank
usually
you for
such
being
an alarm going on.
Usually you get, "Would you shut up, please?"
They usually have
I
the
would
police
imagine.
there. Yeah. Oh God.
See,
The media, all of a sudden the paper lady's right behind me, and I'm like, oh, Jolie was not giving them another thing to write about. Yeah, it's bad.
if you're looking in the chat, I mean, this is how good you've got, like Larry Luttrell, when we stand a chance, when we stand a chance when we stand up. We have some Nickelback song things here, but the same thing. When we stand together. If today were your last day, and that's what people need to realize is do we want to grow? You know, do I want to be 80 years old still living in a world that's even more now, you know, AI and controlled even more, or do I want to be able to go outside and take deep breaths of air and enjoy the flowers and the birds, you know, or is that going to be something I'm going to have to be taxed on? You know, it's all these different things. Is people need to start looking at that, and the big compliment I pay this small town that we live in is when we discuss things with people, whether they're, you know, the local waitress at the restaurant or our neighbors or whatever, everybody's like, you know, we love what you're saying. We love that, you know, and I'll even tell them, you know, this is how I voted. This is where my mind's at right now. And they'll be like, okay, because I was thinking the same thing and I was afraid to say that. I'm like, don't ever be afraid to say anything. If you're being ridiculed for things that you're doing in your life, those people don't need to be involved in your life. And that's easy to do. Just don't show up. Just when you see them, don't say a word to them. And
that's what you got to do. Cut them off. They want your attention so badly too. Holy crap. It's like but I think of a kid throwing a tantrum.
Yeah.
This is Wisconsin. Yep. See? Yep. And I know where you were going, Valdo. I know the Nickelback lyrics, and I know there's a lot of positive songs out there. And I think I have a playlist of positive songs unfortunately, Chad suffers from depression pretty bad. And it's just one of those things where, like, one day I'm happy and the next day somebody's flipped a switch and I'm like, and it's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, what are you sorry for? I'm sad today. You know, it's who knows why, but she makes me happy.
You're sensitive to the environment though. That's why you have the passion you do. You have to protect it. It's like you can't go to every. I found like how, you know, it's like I get to a point I'm like, I can't, especially like, you know, going out, and it's like I know my limitation, and I've enjoyed more and more and more my time away from because you're just picking up. It's just like it's so negative. Like negativity is like running rampant through the communities. Like I don't know anybody who has anything, you know, it's like there's got to be something good. I can make a joke out of anything. I really can. I can about do it in any situation. If we're still, but it's like I've seen more and more people. It's just really heavy out there right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, on a bright note, if you make t-shirts or more than what you have already, I'm not sure about your merch, but you should make a t-shirt with you speaking into a megaphone.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that is a
That
good
would be
idea.
cute. 'Cause
Every
that's
once in a while, I play the video, the main video for my to remind them, like, you know, some people haven't seen it, but this is like in it. This is I've done it so many times, but it really is who I am. You know, I can't. If you told me to change that part of me, I can't do it. There's certain things you just can't change, and that's just I
That's
can't.
what you were born. That's how you're born. That's in your genetics. That's what you do.
it's very inspiring, especially as a female. I think it's very inspiring, that you do that and you speak up.
Thank you. I I really appreciate that. Like during that time, people were not they don't realize the other side of it. Like they didn't think I should have medical care. They thought I killed their grandma. They thought, so there's all these things out there that so much I had told Brody, I've embraced this. People were chanting, they were yelling, and but I did that, and I was like way out of line, but it didn't matter that the whole mall was chanting "Stop the spread" to me. It's like people don't realize somebody trying to mace me in the doctor's office and nobody would do a thing about it. So it was used like, that problem, and they kind of like, don't you feel like at certain points people are like, oh gosh, if you just go along with this, if you would just stop, we would get a moment of peace. And I was like, you're just letting this go on longer and longer. So it was not always reciprocated like that way, but it very much is, I said, a point, I think, that in that crossroads I had, and that was like, I walked the talk. I did everything I said, I stood by, and that is who I am. And I said, without this, I literally have nothing, because I've been stripped of it, but I'm almost glad that I was, because now it's like, I said, I've embraced this. This is who I am, and this is the community. But
Right.
people know, they know if stuff goes down, who are you going to come looking for?
Right.
You know?
Right.
But yes, I really, again, let everybody know before I honestly, I've enjoyed this so immensely. I was excited when you said the plate readers, and I was like, oh yeah, you're talking my language. They made it personal. And so I cannot tell you guys how much it really is such a honor and a privilege. And thank you, Erica. Like, if you sit through this, like, hats off to you.
Thank you. It's been real fun.
Like, oh my God, yeah. But it's awesome to have, you're just bring the life in the world out. I mean, I don't know, everybody in chat says the same thing, and that's really truly a gift, and we appreciate that.
Thank you.
So before you let everybody know where they can find you, and you have Sundays. Blackie, I didn't know you had all these other shows. I'll have to get them on my list and drop in, and let us know where everything's at.
Sundays, we have our show on YouTube, and it's the Oddcast podcast, Off the Record. It's Sundays at 5 Central.
And then Tuesday night, I'm on a show with two gentlemen. I'm the third wheel, as Jeff told earlier. They invited me to be on their show. I knew nothing about Bigfoot, but I wanted to learn. So they brought me in, and it's been over a year now. It's called Old Line Cryptids, and it's on Tuesday nights at 7 Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. And they also, and there's another show called Beards and Boogers, but we just do that like once a month or, whatever. That usually just pops up. But
I gotta say that I'm so curious as to what the topics are. I have to look for myself.
It's pretty much whatever. They've got to leave me out of it because I bring everything here. So I'm bringing conspiracy theories into a Bigfoot show where they want to talk. Most of the time, it's just another Bigfoot show. Like they'll have somebody on like Flat Rock or Roger, and they'll come on, and it'll sometimes turn into a more comical Bigfoot show where people are joking a little bit more. But we've had some great guests on that show as well. And our Old Line Cryptids, we are getting ready to do our 100th episode.
Oh,
on
wow.
the 4th of August with Tim Coonbo Baker.
Oh,
And
yeah. Roger said he's a talker.
it's going to be, we figure it's going to be at least 4 hours right there. The man is a wealth
Isn't
of
that like the
knowledge.
5-hour show or so? He
Yes.
told a story when I
Yeah,
was on his
Roger had a
show.
6-hour show with Coonbo on it. So I'm looking forward to it because I've met Coonbo many times. And the last time I met him, we had 2 conversations. One was about Bigfoot and stuff, and that was a 3-hour. And then we had one about his family. He just sat down and started telling me about his house, his dogs, and just genuinely an amazing person. His background is incredible. And that's why you're like, you want to hear from this guy because he has been involved in this cryptid game for probably 30, 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And who he used to work for, and I'll let you figure that out someday. I don't know if he wants me to throw that out, but who he used to work for, makes him even more, interesting. So I'll leave it at that. But we have him on our 100th show on August 4th. So maybe I should. And again, anybody that tunes into our show on Sunday, we had our serious show this week. Next week's not serious.
Yeah.
Next week's fun and games.
Comedy.
So
get your jokes, your best jokes. Is it like dad jokes, or I don't know if I know.
It can be any joke, like PG-13 and down. We don't want any over.
Okay.
Our crowd, we've got some people in there that would probably offend. I would be okay with any joke, but we don't want to offend. So we're going to do a PG-13 and below, and the jokes that'll come off of the jokes will probably be just as fun.
That's what I'm waiting for.
It's just kind of it's our 50th episode, and we just wanted to have fun. So
how did you want people to submit the jokes? Just in chat, or bring them to, or do you want them ahead of time? Or
preferably if they want to be there, we'd love to have them in chat. If they have like pictures they want to send, not a picture of a joke, but like some oddball picture that's funny.
Yeah.
Email it to us at OC if you're
this could be a roast.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Ooh, that would be good too. Yeah. Anybody can roast me because I think it's funny when people I always do you got it. I always tell AI roast me. And then when it comes back, I'm like, no, that's really me. I don't know why. That's not a roast. That's me. So but we just wanted to have fun. And Erica put the email address in there. So if you've got any pictures that you want to send in, funny pictures, we are giving away a t-shirt and a sticker for funniest picture joke, and then a t-shirt, a sticker for the funniest joke.
Oh, you could really go. This could really, you should see. Oh my God. I was like, you should have like channel or like, I've got some jokes to send. Like, no, this gave it new inspiration. I think that's hilarious. I've heard some of the some of the funniest stuff. I'm like, but when you see it, Eric from PNW Rush made this video. It was so cool when he was coming on, but he had me like with it was so, I was in tears laughing. It had all my mannerisms to a T. I was like, no way. It was so great. It was
Magneticus, probably not unless it's a chicken.
No, he does have a chicken, because I thought he had lost his mind in my chat one day, and he was talking, and I was like, and I responded, did you get hacked? And I even removed a comment because I was like, what is wrong with it? And then he sends on Twitter, he sends a picture of it, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Gosh.
Thank God. That's what I thought.
That's awesome.
Thank God. Yeah, because I thought he's lost his mind. I thought but yeah, no, it was legit. It was definitely legit. Yes. And Erica, too, tell them about, you have an Etsy. I put your Etsy link in there. And then you have a Facebook community too.
Oh yeah, that's a new one. Yeah.
I just started my Facebook my Facebook business name is Nature and Nurture Beauty and Home.
Oh, I like that.
And my Etsy shop, where you can browse and shop if you would like, is Nature Nurture Beauty, all one word. I'm going to type that in here to chat right now. But I make all natural, chemical free skincare and home cleaning products.
And she is coming out with
I'm working on a men's line right now.
That would be great.
Beard oil. Yeah, I'm excited.
My kiddo this is right up his alley.
Well, I'm also a weather watcher. So I work with one of the local weather channels, weather stations. And he got to talking to us on a live one night. And he's going to have her do a commercial for a show. So we're going to do that. Put the green
How
screen up and show a
awesome.
really nice kitchen in
Wow.
here. So
That's
it's
awesome. Yeah. If there's anything like, or you have a little, I always do, especially when people come on, play their commercials, like, and put it through in the beginning and the end. If you guys ever have anything, I'd be more than happy to get out. I really believe in that stuff. And just,
Oh yeah.
yeah, when he said sugar scrub, for some reason, like my mouth is like watering. I'm just thinking, I bet it smells.
Oh,
You just look like you can bake, and like I'm just envisioning like these smells. Like,
Well, I also I'm very picky about the ingredients that I use. I'm picky about the packaging that I use. I think that it all matters. And so most of my products don't have added color, but my watermelon sugar scrub, I added a mica powder to add color to it. So
see, that's where it starts tasting good.
It smells just like watermelon.
I love
I
that.
just feel
Those like fresh, like, yes.
yeah. There are so many products out there, and they'll use the like red dye and things like that. I
That's
do
so
not.
horrible.
I don't want any part of that, you know. So I just want to be that market, I want to offer those products because it is attainable. And to me, it all matters. It's all a matter of time before those things catch up with your system,
Yeah.
your body. And when you use products like that and take out the junk, you do notice over time
You feel better. You do.
it all
Yes.
affects you.
It does. It really does. And like you said, people, like, it's like, well, we were I really think we were the experimented one. Like, I have all the red M&Ms and everything, like, and then wonder why they have issues now. I say,
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
you probably did it, but
When you really study it, it's no surprise. But,
mm-mm.
as Americans, I think especially, we just don't give a second thought to a lot of things. And, you know, like I make laundry detergent, I make a powder laundry soap. And, you know, in the detergent world, you have the big names and they smell so good.
Oh yeah.
And you hear about like cancer claims, stuff like that. I wouldn't name any names on that, but um, when you start to read about it, all of it takes place. All of it plays a part in that. And like you'll see somebody in a grocery store walking down the aisle, you'll smell what they wash their clothes in. Um, that is a chemical that binds to your fabric.
I was that person.
And so that's not normal. That's a chemical. And our
If
brain,
one scoop was good, 5 were better. If you could smell that laundry. I used to do that.
well, I always think about, and you love the scent, you love the scent of whatever.
Gain was my favorite.
And you really get a following with it. Our brains, we react to the smells and the tastes and, some of the places around here, I'm like, no wonder they're busy. It's a restaurant. No wonder they're busy. They have like this coffee special, like, your brain reacts to that. Your brain wants, those things.
Oh yeah.
It knows how it tastes. And then, it just all works together. And
See, they know human nature. It's like we're based on a trigger response.
yeah,
Like that's our gratification, the instant
yeah.
gratification. Like you smell that, man, that roasted coffee. I'm like, yeah.
What she's been doing the kind of the clean stuff for a while. She started making her product. We've been using some of your stuff past few years, but she just started marketing it. And what got me into really paying attention to stuff was this blue bottle. And I think what most of us know what this blue bottle, it's dish soap. If you remember the commercials from back in the day when they get the little ducks that are in the oil slicks and they bring the little oil ducks out and they wash them in, and you're like, oh, that's so cute. That must be some really good dish soap. And then read the back, and read the things that are in it. And when you can't pronounce them and it's a different language and
Mhm.
half of them are nerve agents that
Oh
can
my
soak
God.
into your skin, you're like,
Mhm.
yep, that was it. So we decided that we were going to, she wanted to be, clean, fresh when we use soap. Let's make it pure, sort of like what our grandparents used, that kind of that
Yes.
idea, that lard. Well, we don't make it with lard, but if you've ever watched Fight Club, when they make soap, that's that's the purest way of making soap. That's clean, and she's done that with her product. I'm pointing over here because it's all piled on the counter because she's making her men's line, and
Oh, how cool.
it's refreshing to be able to use something that is not no aluminum, no things that
Yeah.
are going to cause diseases. Because if you pay attention to this stuff, you learn about the Rockefellers and the things that they created,
Mhm.
going from oil into
Oh, yeah.
pharmaceutical and blah, blah, blah. We wanted to get away from that. She said, I'm doing it, and she has kicked ass with it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That is, I'm thinking, man, that's probably like her playground, It's
Oh,
like,
it is.
My
podcasting equipment, like,
creativity is just like,
And I'm her
is
guinea
it,
pig.
but yeah, probably like that. You probably, I can tell you just love doing it. And
I
that,
love it.
oh, that's
I love it.
awesome.
I love it. And, working with people, most of my jobs I've had, I've worked with people so many years of my life, and I just love to get their input or see how they feel about whatever. Because to me, it's like my effort in making a difference.
Oh, yes, you really
I want,
are. That is,
I
you're
want,
making a huge difference.
yeah, I want people to know they have options out there. And I'm not going to preach to you like, hey, don't use whatever.
Use
You
whatever.
know,
Yep.
it's open. You use what you want to. But for me, surviving a traumatic brain injury, I feel like I'm going to do a lot of things that I can to combat, any issues with that in the future. So those
And then you're putting
forever
a mark,
chemicals,
and you love it. It's probably
yeah,
helped too with your like with the memory, with the traumatic brain injury. A lot of
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
Wow, you probably is it
Like,
probably therapeutic.
yeah, the whole thing, it's just that these chemicals, get in your system and they affect you in those ways, like memory related or endocrine disruptors,
Depression.
Mm-hmm.
mental health, and it's just,
Big
if
time.
I can make products that like I love to use and offer them to other people, and they don't have the bad, ingredients or the mind altering, like if I
Yes,
can play a part in that, I'm very proud to do so.
you are
Yep.
doing. Yes, you absolutely are doing your part, and what better to offer like an option that's not going to damage you, like
Yeah.
this is and then you're putting all this love into that, and that's what grows and shows, and when
Yeah.
people I said it, when somebody like appreciates something or they share in that joy of something I did, like that makes me feel so good. And
Yeah.
I like I hope that all that love and joy comes back in abundance for you, because you really are
Yeah.
like that's fantastic. That
You're
really
amazing.
is.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes. And I know I'm gonna let me know, because my son is like, he'll eat this up. Hopefully not literally, but
Awesome.
no, this is right up his. I don't know where this kid came from. He's like, even when I think he's like, I don't believe in big pharma. I don't believe in. I was like, oh yeah,
Wow,
Atta
nice.
boy.
He
that's my
is
kid.
steps
Yeah.
ahead, let me tell
Nobody
you.
believes AI. He's like, no nonsense like that. I'm like, oh my God, where did you come from?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he will like this generation. So I'll keep an eye out. Let me know whenever you get that men's line. Well, they probably can use it either way. So I'll look and see, but that's awesome. Very cool. Now, again, want to thank both of you for coming on, and I look
Thank you.
forward to I look forward to these. I mean, there's nobody else, Blackie, like you, that we can have this fire,
Yeah,
and we got
if you ever want to have a show where you just want to get everything out, I'm right there with you. I will.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm right there. You just give me a
Same
subject.
for
I'll be
you.
like, let's
Yeah,
get it out.
no, same those to you guys too. I'm always always have a cause. You know, I can get ready, and it's like those are moments. I'm telling you, I live for those moments. You feel alive in those moments.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, guys, definitely, if you have not gone over and you've not subscribed to Erica and Blackie, definitely do so. It's the Oddcast podcast, Off the Record.
Yep.
And before we leave real quickly, I just want to say thanks to the chat. I neglected you a little. I know I really was so in this conversation was great. So I love each and every one of you. Thank you, Benno, so much. Yeah, greatly appreciate it. Amy, it's so great to see you, girl. Oh my goodness, so great to see you. And thank you and welcome to the new SNX ground crew member. And I don't know what jewels are, but thank you, girl. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And on that note, thank you for taking the journey into the unknown. I'm Coley, also known as ColeyUFO. We have Erica and Blackie. Definitely get over to the Oddcast podcast, Off the Record, and give them a follow and get over there on Sundays at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and let's joke time. Let's see who's got the best roasting joke. Yeah, bring it.
Yeah,
I'm like Rogers going on my list. Okay.
If you haven't heard Erica laugh, you will hear it.
Oh yes.
Oh, I love it. If you hear when you hear Erica laugh, you will laugh. It just brings joy. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
Awesome. Again, thank you guys so much. And then everybody in chat, we'll be seeing you very soon. It's been an amazing night. Thank you all.